Last Raps Baseball is on the air, and tonight we are providing you live commentary from the NPB featuring the Hanshin Tigers and Yokohama DeNa BayStars. Welcome aboard, everybody. I was a little bit concerned if we were going to be able to get this one off as we were having some struggles with our feeds, but it looks like we are good to go. It is going to be the left-hander Hirohito Hamaguchi on the mound for the BayStars, and he delivers the first pitch of the ball game to Takuma Nakano for a fastball up and in for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Nakano on the season hit .276 with 6 homers and 25 RBIs, and he takes a fastball off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. It'll be Nakano, Hojo, and Chikamoto to get things going for the Tigers here in their half of the first inning. A bit of a rushed start for us. As we said, we were trying to get our feeds all in place. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. We'll get you all the lineups and all the defensive stuff here in just a few minutes as we get ourselves nestled into the start of this affair. And here's the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-1 to Nakano. Some rare Sunday night or Monday afternoon baseball from Japan. It is game 3 of the series in the Central League between the Hanshin Tigers and the Yokohama DeNa BayStars. And there's a fastball that misses down. And Takuma Nakano is aboard with a leadoff walk here to begin the first inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Fumiya Hojo. Well, defensively today for the BayStars, from left to right in the outfield, the left fielder is Kaida Sano. In center field, it is Taiki Sekane. Right fielder is Taishi Kuzamoto. Around the horn from first to third, it's Neftali Soto at first. Shugo Maki is at second. The shortstop is Yamato. The third baseman is Toshiro Miyazaki. And the battery, of course, is Haruhiro Hamaguchi. And the catcher is Yasutaka Tobashira. So a little bit new for us doing some of the Central League stuff. We've done a few games in the season. We don't do a whole ton. So I'm always intrigued by watching the way that this game is played, if it's a little bit different than what we see in the Pacific League. And certainly the pitchers hitting is one thing. And that gives us a little different perspective as Hamaguchi throws over to first base, and diving back is Nakano. Hojo already squaring the bunt as soon as he stepped in the batter's box. And that is where he's at. He's right up on the plate. He's waggling the bat. And now he's waiting on the offering, and it is delivered. It's a high fastball, but they said that he went. Hojo offered on that one, and the count is 0-1. Hojo on the season batted .186. He has a homer and 7 RBIs. Hamaguchi delivered a high fastball there. Sometimes you'll see that if the pitchers have decent control, they'll try to come up high to induce a pop-up. And so that's what they were looking for there, getting something in the air, maybe to freeze the runner. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It is a fastball. It's upstairs. It's bunted back to the pitcher. He looks to second, but he's got no chance. And over to first he throws, and Hojo does his job. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4 for the first out of the inning. It advances Nakano over to second, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Koji Chikamoto. Our friend in the living room says the pitcher's hit. He took the over in this one. I don't know what the over and under was going into this affair. I didn't really look at the notes on the games and to see what there may have been offered. And certainly, yeah, the pitchers do hit in the Central League. And of course, the two hitters tonight, the two pitchers that are hitting tonight, for your knowledge, are a combined 3 for 46 on the season. And it is the pitcher for the Tigers, Saiki, who does not have a hit. So 0 for 16. And the first pitch delivered to Chikamoto is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. Maki fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Chikamoto on a ground out 4-3. But it is going to advance Nakano to third with 2 away. And that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Fumihiro Haraguchi. Well, for Haraguchi on the season, he's batting .324. He's got a couple of homers and 10 RBIs. This is an elimination game. The first game of the series went down the other evening on Friday night, North American time, or I should say on Saturday, Japan time, and it would be Hanshin knocked off the BayStars 2-0 in the first game of the series. The BayStars followed up yesterday by beating the Tigers 1-0. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Oyama. Oyama on the season hit .267 with 23 homers and 87 RBIs. He's in the cleanup spot and starting in right field tonight. Right-handed hitting Oyama, waiting on the offering here from the lefty Hamaguchi, who checks the runner over at third. He works from the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly over to short. It is fielded by Yamato. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 6-3 to end the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, but there was one runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Tigers 0 and the BayStars coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the call in 30 seconds, and we'll give you the lineup for the home team from the BayStars when they return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the lineup for the home team from Yokohama. The BayStars are rolling out their starting 9. Leading off in center field is number 63, Taiki Sekine. Batting second in right field is number 37, Taishi Kuzumoto. Batting third in in left field today is number 7, Kaita Sano. At the cleanup spot and playing second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting fifth and playing third base is number 51, Toshihiro Miyazaki. Hitting sixth at first base is the veteran number 99, Neftali Sato. Batting in the seventh spot and wearing number 9 is the shortstop Yamato, the former one-time Hanshin Tiger, who spent the last few seasons in with the BayStars. And batting eighth is the catcher number 10, Yasutaka Tobashira. And hitting ninth is the pitcher wearing number 26, Hirohiro Hamaguchi. And they are going to be facing the right-hander Hiroto Saiki, who is 4-1 on the year. He's got 47 innings pitched. He's allowed 40 hits, 10 runs, 8 of which have been earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 43, and he's got an ERA of 1.53. Well, Sekine leads it off here. He, on the season, batting .254. He had a homer and 13 RBIs. So he is entrusted here. He didn't play in the first 2 games of the series, but he is a left-handed stick, getting a chance to show his worth here for the BayStars in tonight's action. So here comes the first pitch from the right-hander Sekine, and it is from Saiki, it's a fastball to Sekine, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. As we said, it's a odd Sunday night North American time, or certainly for some baseball, obviously Japanese Monday afternoon baseball in Japan. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. When the starter Saiki crawled the ladder to deliver that one to Sekine. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lanky right-hander holds, and he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We do plan to call some Pacific League action a little bit later this week, as there is going to be games on Wednesday and Thursday, Japan time, so late Tuesday night. There is a fastball that misses down, and up goes the right hand of the third base umpire, and Sekine is retired on strikes for out number 1 here in the first inning. He had checked his swing, but he didn't check it enough. That pitch was spiked at about 58 feet in front of the plate, and the batter went after it. I have to say, I'm not so sure about that one. He didn't get the home cooking call we thought he might get. So 1 away here for the BayStars in their half of the inning, and it's going to bring up Taishi Kuzumoto. Kuzumoto on the season batted .252. He had 6 homers and 26 runs batted in. Another left-handed stick in the BayStars lineup to begin the ball game. He's waiting on the first offering from the right-hander Saiki, who kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We don't do a lot of games from the Central League, so for us it is a little bit of a test here tonight, certainly with some of the names. So we hope we don't butcher anything up, that is for sure. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get accustomed to some of the players because we only see them usually in the interleague play. I have done the Tigers a couple of times this year in interleague play, but we also saw them about 2 or 3 weeks ago when they were playing the Chinichi Dragons. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 0-2 to Kuzumoto. Our friend in the living room in the house, and he says he wants to see a pitcher hit a home run. I'm not sure you're going to see these guys put one into the stands, but you never know. Sometimes it will be the ball that hits the bat and not the bat that hits the ball that will do the trick. And as Aaron Judge says, it's home runs are not hit. Home runs are thrown by the pitcher, according to the big slugger for the Yankees. There's a split finger pitch misses down. The count now goes to 1-2 to Kuzumoto. Kuzumoto will be followed by the left fielder Kaito Sano, who waits his turn on deck. It's another beautiful day for baseball in Yokohama. Yesterday they had some rain in the latter part of the ball game. But right now the skies are in good shape, and it's a nice afternoon for baseball in Yokohama. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that spikes up into the dirt. And the count goes even now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, our programming notes, as we will be adding this week, we'll be looking to do the Buffaloes as well as the Fukuoka series, and that will begin in Osaka. We said starting on Wednesday in the wee hours of the morning. So exciting times for Japanese baseball. There's a fastball swung on it, breaks the bat. It's grounded over to third. It's fielded. It's offline. The first baseman, Haraguchi, comes off the base to apply the tag, but the first base umpire says he didn't get him, as he has an emphatic safe call. We're going to have to see how they're going to rule this one, as Sato had to charge the ball. It sawed the bat in half. And it was a slow roller down the third base line. Sato got it. He threw on the run. The ball had bounced. It came up the line, and to the credit of the first base umpire, he was right there to make the call. There was no tag on the play. We're going to have to see if they rule that as a base hit or if they're going to charge Sato with the error. If he would have fielded that cleanly, he definitely would have had himself an out. So the runner at first is Kuzumoto, and that brings Sato to the plate with 1 gone. And we'll wait for the official scorer on that one. Personally speaking, I would rule the error to the third baseman on that. But we'll see what the Yokohama brain trust is going to give. There was a first pitch split finger that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kaito Sano. Our friend in the living room says that Hanshin has Joe Gunkel. Yes, they do. A couple of years ago, the Hanshin Tigers had 8 import players signed to contracts. The professional, you're capped at 70 players in the Japanese league to professional contracts between your top team and your farm club. They have developmental and training players and different types of contracts, but certainly between the top team and the farm team, you're capped at 70 players on the roster, as that breaking ball misses down and the count is 1-1. But on a game sheet, you're only allowed 4 players on a game sheet, and only 3 can be in the game at one time. And so there was a lot of eyebrows raised with the Tigers organization why they would sign 8 import players. And at that time, they had Justin Bohr and they had Jerry Sands, as well as Jeffrey Marte from the offensive side of things. And they had a lot of pitchers to go with it, as there was a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend in the living room says the bat must have had termites in it the way it exploded. Well, it's interesting, that particular bat. Sometimes you get wood bats that have knots in it. And if the bat is, usually those are left for the lower grade models, not of the professional standard. But that pitch there, it wasn't like he got sawed off on the hands. did Kuzumoto. It looked like it got pretty much the sweet spot or near the sweet spot of the bat. As there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sato. I'll try to get that official scoring for you in just a moment. If they'll give us the update to see if that was an error or a hit. We have not seen anything as of that yet. Well, it does look like they've ruled that as an error. E5 to the Tigers, Sato. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. Fielded by the first baseman who goes to second. And it looks like they're going to get the runner at second base. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Not an easy one. First baseman Haraguchi had to come in and field the ball. As he fielded the ball, it was on the infield side, and he threw the ball, and the shortstop covering had to do a good job of picking it. Really nice play by Nakano to pull that out of the dirt. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice. 3-6 to erase Kuzumoto for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Shugo Maki. Well, for Maki, he's batted .291 in the regular season. He had 24 homers and 87 RBIs. Young star of the BayStars. Waits on the first offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Shugo Maki of the BayStars, certainly one of the young stars in the Japanese game. We don't always get a chance to see, as I said, the Central League. This is his second year. He's 24 years old. He went to Chuo University. He was the second overall pick in the 2020 draft. And he's walked in and has made an instant impact in the BayStars lineup. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Last year in his rookie season, he had 22 homers and 71 RBIs. He followed that up with a 24 homer and 87 RBI output this year. Last year he had 314. This year he had 291 in the regular season, but pretty much that is where he is, you could say, defined as a player right now. That's not a bad start to his career. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep right center field. Drifting back on it on the edge of the warning track is Chikamoto. He's going to haul it in, and that is going to do it here for Maki as he's retired for the third out of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. The BayStars did. They had no hits. There was an error, and there was a runner left on base. We are now through one complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers no score and the Yokohama DeNa BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call of the top of the second inning. Appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the second inning. It's going to be Fumihiro Haraguchi, Teruki Sato, and Naomasa Yokawa to get things going here for the Hanshin Tigers in their half of the second inning. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to face the left-hander Harihiro Hamaguchi, who is on for his second inning of work. The first inning, neither team has had a hit yet, but they have stranded runners, as it was Nakano who led off the game with a walk for the Tigers, and he was stranded all the way over at third base. Then an error by the third baseman Sato allowed Kuzumoto to reach in the bottom half of the first for the BayStars, but zeros are across the board right now, and that is where it's been for quite a bit of this series. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Haraguchi. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty goes back at it again quickly. He delivers another breaking ball, and again another one that misses down. And the count is 2-0. Wastes no time, does Haraguchi. He gets the ball and goes right at it. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball. It's taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Haraguchi. The lefty again ready to deliver once again. He delivers a fastball that misses upstairs, and we've now gone to 3-1 on Haraguchi here to lead off the second inning. Can barely get a breath of air and a drink of water as the pitcher goes back again, and there's a fastball that catches the inside corner. The count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Haraguchi on the year hit .324 with a couple of homers and 10 RBIs. Big fella gets the start at first base here tonight, and he has had a rugged top half of the inning. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Alexander Leggett in the house tonight listening in. We appreciate him for being here. And we thank you for your support and everybody else who is listening as well. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Haraguchi. The lefty Hamaguchi ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded over foul by the third base dugout, and the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Only 10 pitches in that first inning for Hamaguchi. Very efficient, and he's already thrown 7 here to Haraguchi, the first baseman of the Tigers. Our friend Alexander says it's the final game of round 1. There's a changeup swung on and missed. And Haraguchi is retired on strikes for out number 1 here in the second inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Teraki Sato. And that is absolutely correct. The winner of this game is going to go on and play the champions, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Of course, that series begins on Wednesday in Japan, or Tuesday if you're in North America. Actually, I think it is still a Wednesday game in North America as well. It'll be a 2 a.m. first pitch Pacific time, or 5 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to try to bring those for you this week as well. There's a fastball delivered to Sato that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Sato hit .264 during the year. He had 20 homers and 84 runs batted in. He bats from the left side against the left-hander Hamaguchi, who delivers a fastball that just misses upstairs for another ball, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The wind is blowing from left to right. It is probably in favor of the left-handed bats if you could get it into the jet stream into the power alley. And there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 3, and the count is now 3-0 to Sato. There are certain players that I look at in the Japanese league, and I say this guy would look good in a major league uniform. And Teraki Sato is exactly one of those. He plays a little bit of the outfield. He plays third base. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and on 4 straight balls, Sato was aboard with a 1-out walk, and that will bring up Yoasa Yokawa. Well, for Yokawa on the season, he hit .294. He had a homer and 6 RBIs. Ready to face the left-hander Hamaguchi. But as I said about Sato, he would look good in any type of uniform, and I think he would be a guy that many major league scouts would be looking at. There's certain players that I do look and admire and say that if they decided that they wanted to be posted, they could probably play in Major League Baseball. One of the players who dominated the Pacific League opening round was Yuki Yanagita. Of course, he's in the twilight or the back end of his career, maybe not the twilight. He's 34 years old. And he just dominated that last series, was driving in 7 runs in 2 games. There's a fastball delivered to Yokawa, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. But looking at Sato, he would be one that I think a lot of major league teams would be intrigued about. There's some power in the stick. There's some juice in the arm. And if he could play a little bit more better third base, I think he'd be in a better position. There's a fastball that's down. It is blocked by the catcher, but it squirts away up the first baseline. It gets away from Tobashira. That's going to be a wild pitch charged to the pitcher, Hamaguchi. And Sato has got himself into scoring position down at second base. So Sato is now at second. It is 1-1 to Yokohama. Sato establishes his lead over at second. Yokohama waggles his bat, waiting on the offering from Hamaguchi, who holds at the belt. He checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2-1 to Yokohama. The series has been very tight. Only 3 runs scored total in the first 2 games. And one would have to think that this game is going to be tightly played. I would anticipate that there's going to be more runs scored. Our friend, the living room, said that there was 6.5 was the over-under for this game, and I can see that being the case. And there's a breaking ball that is down, and the home plate umpire points to Yokohama and says he went around. That's going to even the count at 2-2. I'd like to have another look at that one myself. I'm not sure that he went all the way around or not. Of course, Yokohama, the Hanshin Tiger left fielder, doesn't think so either. So 2-2. Ryotaro Umeno, the catcher, waits his turn on deck. So Hamaguchi ready to go back to work again. The right-handed hitting Yokohama waiting on the offering. He checks the runner Sato at second, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses outside. Runs the count now to 3-2 to Yokohama. The intriguing part about the Central League, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, is the pitchers get to hit. And so that's one thing that I really miss in Major League Baseball, the National League. It really adds the dimension and strategy to the game. When you want to do a double switch, when to pinch hit for your pitcher. I just think that Major League Baseball has made a mistake in keeping the DH, universal DH, all the way around. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined up the middle. It is fielded on one hop by Mackey. Retreating to the base at second base is Sato. He fields it and throws to first. And that's going to retire Yokohama. It's going to be ruled as a ground out 4-3, but Mackey took it on the short hop. Sato had to freeze because it was a line drive, and the second baseman had to advance to get it. As he fielded the ball, then he checked the runner back to second base, and Sato did not advance, and the batter, Yokohama, unable to get the job done to advance the runner to third, will now bring up the catcher, Ryotaro Umeno. In some fairness to Sato, that's a difficult play because it was almost a soft line drive that you weren't sure if it was going to hang up in the air or not, and then Mackey takes it on the one hop to retire the runner. And the first pitch delivered to Umeno is a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Umeno not really happy with that call. I'm sure he'll have his say with the home plate umpire when he comes back out to catch the pitcher, Psyche, who is waiting his turn on deck. So no balls and 1 strike to Umeno. The lefty holds at the belt, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over the first base dugout. The count is now 0-2 to Umeno. I was reading earlier today that the attendance in Yokohama, they had set a record on Friday's game for the number of fans in attendance to see the BayStars play. And that record was 33,033. And then yesterday they broke that attendance record with 33,037. I bet you when we check the newspapers tomorrow, they're going to say it was broken again tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. I'm not sure where they put those extra people or if they have a standing room section. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Umeno. The lefty, Hamaguchi, gets his sign from his catcher, Tobashira. He checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's fouled off. The batter did get out into fair territory, but Hamaguchi will have no play as that ball has been ruled a foul ball. Hamaguchi got off the mound in a hurry. So I'm curious to see the depth at which that the managers will stay with their starters tonight, how far they go, and at what point in time they're going to start leaning on their bullpens to have to bring this one home. And if you've been with us before, the one thing about the Hanshin Tiger bullpen is make sure you got a lot of coffee ready because their bullpen takes a long time between their pitches. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2 to Umeno. We did some of the games with the Tigers. As soon as it gets to the bullpen, their pitchers bring the game to an absolute crawl. Whether there's runners on base or no runners on base, it is an absolute grind to call their ball club late in the game. Ricardo Ortiz is in the house, and we appreciate you for being here. And we thank you for stopping in to listen. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. And he is from Las Vegas, he says. There's a lot of people that seem to jump in here from Vegas from time to time. So we appreciate you for stopping in. And don't forget to bookmark the channel, as we'll be bringing more NPB action through the playoffs here. And hopefully maybe even some Japan Series games if we can get the feeds for those ourselves. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Umeno. The lefty Hamaguchi holds set at the belt. He checks the runner and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. Moving over toward the line and making the grab is the right fielder Kuzumoto. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the second inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There were no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1.5. It is the Tigers no score, the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call after this. Appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the BayStars order coming to bat. That means it's going to be Toshiro Miyazaki, Neftali Soto, and Yamato to face the right-hander Hiroto Saiki. Defensively for the Tigers, we went through some of the lineup for the BayStars, but defensively for the Tigers tonight, from left to right field, it is Yokohama who is in left. The center fielder is Koji Chikamoto. The right fielder is Yasuki Oyama. Around the horn from first to third, it is Haraguchi at first base. The second baseman is Hojo. The shortstop tonight is Nakano. And at third base, it's Sato. And, of course, the battery is Saiki and Umeno. And that is tying up the loose ends for us on the back end tonight of the ball game. And so we've got Miyazaki, Soto, and Yamato to come to bat for the BayStars. As we mentioned, it is for us. Hopefully we're not making anything that's a bit of a shot here. I said we have our friend Alexander Leggett and was trying to keep up on some of the things that he said. They say baseball is dead. I don't think it is. But I do have a Blue Jay that was dead that was sent to me yesterday. A picture of a Blue Jay, and of course that might have been George Springer laying on the mound. The first pitch to Miyazaki was a fastball that misses inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. All of the first round wildcard games are done. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back on the warning track, looking up, and this ball is gone. A home run for Miyazaki. And that is going to open the scoring here for the BayStars in the bottom of the second inning. He goes the other way and drives it into the second row. And the crowd is on their feet, and they are cheering in Yokohama. The home team is on the board with a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. A leadoff homer for Toshiro Miyazaki. He had 16 on the season. Now he's got one in the playoffs. He's got himself an RBI to go with it. And the way the games have been played in this series, that may be all it will take for the BayStars to win the ball game. Runs have been at a premium. So you got to take them where you can get them. And that one had left the yard in a hurry. And the crowd in unison all up with their arms. So here comes the First baseman Neftali Sato, who takes a breaking ball upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Sato on the season hit .266 with 17 homers and 49 runs batted in. And the right-hander Saki delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul just past the third base coach, and the count is now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I kind of like the looks of this stadium in Yokohama. As I said, we don't get a chance to do the Central League affairs, but it's kind of cool. I like the way that the seating is designed. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Sato. Soto had some pretty decent career, over in Major League Baseball for a little bit with the Cincinnati Reds. In fact, if I look him up properly, he had 20 homers one year with the Reds early in his career, and then he ended up falling out of favor, and the next thing you know, he found himself in Japan, and he's made a career of it. Sometimes you can see players that they come over at a younger age. Dayan Visiedo being another one. Tiago Vieira of the Giants, another one, who could probably play in Major League Baseball, but ended up getting a long and healthy career in the Japanese league. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It is fielded neatly by the shortstop Nakano, who throws to first. Soto is retired for the first out of the inning. It goes as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the shortstop Yamato. Our friend Alexander Leggett says he's looking forward to this. He wants the Tigers to advance, but it'll be interesting if the BayStars do win. Here comes the first pitch to Yamato. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yamato, as we mentioned, a former Hanshin Tiger, currently holding down the shortstop position for the BayStars. As he kicks and he delivers, as Saki throws another fastball. It's fouled away. That's going to reach the seats on the first base side. The count is now 0-2. The BayStars, of course, and I'm thinking about their season that they had this year. They've had a pretty solid campaign, especially in the second half. Separated themselves from the rest of the masses in the Central League and made a bit of a run there at the Swallows. So there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. The BayStars not featuring Tyler Austin in the lineup tonight. He came on last night as a pinch hitter. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-2. So they have some intriguing pieces on their squad. No Jeffrey Marte in the starting lineup tonight either for the Hanshin Tigers. So import players in this one are far and few between. Obviously, Soto in there for the BayStars. And there's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is fouled away over on the first base side, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Soto. Hopefully we can carry on with some of this playoff action through the week. Great to have everybody back in here with us again as well. And here comes the 2-2 offering. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 3-2. This is a big game tonight as it's an elimination game. The BayStars have that 1-0 lead now here in the bottom of the second inning on the home run by Miyazaki. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yamato. And here comes the payoff pitch as Saiki delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, and backing up and then making the catch is the left fielder Yukawa. Yamato hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the left fielder. And he is gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Yasutaka Tobashira. It was a good swing there by the BayStars shortstop, but right to the glove. The left fielder, Yokawa. So Tobashira batting from the left side, waiting on the first offering, and it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined right to the first baseman, Haraguchi, and that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the inning. Well, that would be a concern and a red light for me. There were 4 balls that were put in play in the inning, and 3 were absolutely scorched. The line drive right to the glove of Haraguchi ends the inning for out number 3. And if you're the Tigers manager and their pitching coach. Keep an eye on that one. We may have some early pitching changes coming up for them if this is how it's going to work. 1 run in the inning on the homer by Miyazaki. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It is the BayStars 1, the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call of the top of the 3rd inning. I'm glad you guys could be here with us. Glad Alexander Leggett's holding down the chat. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order coming to bat for the Hanshin Tigers. That means it's the pitcher, Hiroto Saiki, then the top of the order, Nakano and Hojo to follow. So 9, 1, 2 to come to bat to face Hamaguchi here in the 3rd inning. The 1-0 lead has been courtesy off the bat of the 3rd baseman, Miyazaki, for the BayStars. He opened the scoring with an opposite field shot in that last half inning. It was a high fastball. And then the outer third of the plate, he was able to go the other way, hit that ball into the 2nd row, and it bounced back into the 1st row, and he gets high fives all the way around. And that is where we stand right now, 1-0 for the BayStars. So the pitcher versus pitcher matchup is about to happen here. Is Hamaguchi ready to face his opposite number, Saiki? And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Hamaguchi, 33 walks in 112 innings. I have to say tonight he has not been very efficient with his pitches, as there is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. 35 pitches through the first 2 innings for the BayStars lefty. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. Alexander Leggett said, how about those Mets tonight? Well, the Mets and Padres series, I would have been obviously with the home team being the Mets. But certainly Joe Musgrove came out and absolutely dealt. So there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Saiki. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as Hamaguchi kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. And certainly Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom, when you have those two as your starters, you would think that that is enough to get you through, but the Padres were able to survive, and they're going to go on. The reward for that is to go face the Dodgers starting in a couple of days. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the pitcher, Saiki, is down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Takuma Nakano. Well, Nakano tonight is officially 0 for 0. He walked his first time up on 5 pitches, and he was stranded at third base back in the first inning. So he is looking to find a way to get on base. There are some players in this Tigers lineup who can run a bit. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Nakano is one of them. He had 23 stolen bases on the year. Another one of those players who has some wheels is Koji Chikamoto, who had 30 stolen bases during the season. So 30 stolen bases for him. And there is a fastball that is swung on. This is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. And Nakano's got himself a base hit. So a 1-out single. He's aboard for the second time tonight. And right when that happened, it looked like the sunlight had come out. The first baseman, Sato, took one step and then put his hands to the ground as that ball got through the right side of the infield for the base hit. So Fumiya Hojo steps to the plate. Hojo had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. He bats from the right side, ready to face the offering here from the left-hander Hamaguchi. Nakano has one foot on the turf and the other on the dirt, and there's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Hojo. As we said, Nakano, with his 23 stolen bases, he was fourth in the Central League in stolen bases this year. Chikamoto was the leader. So 2 players tonight in double digits, as well as Sato had 11. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. Alexander says going to be lots of rubs in Yokohama tonight. I don't know about rubs, but there might be lots of runs. I think that's what he was intending to say, but there might be lots of rubs too, depending upon the type of environment that you fancy or where you hang out. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Hojo as he's waiting here on the lefty. And instead he delivers a ball over to first base, does Hamaguchi, and diving back in time is Nakano. The crowd in Yokohama is in festive spirits. The BayStars are in their home whites, the pinstripes, the blue striping that goes with it. The Tigers are in their road grays for this one. And the runner at first gets his lead, and they throw over again, and getting back in time safely is the base runner Nakano. So lots of action ahead of us here with the 1-0 scoreline in favor of Yokohama. You're in the top of the third inning. The lefty holds set. He throws over to first base again, and getting back in time is Nakano. I've commented it quite a bit in the Pacific League. There's nobody really that I look at that says that, and I say that has a great move from lefties over to first base. There's nobody that really pops for me. But I do have to say that Hamaguchi has a quick move over to first base, and it's a little bit better than most. He really snaps it over and keeps that runner honest. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. The count is now 1-2 to Hojo. The rate at which that Hamaguchi is delivering his pitches, as he's at number 44 here with 1 gone in the third inning, I would be shocked to see him pass the 6th in this one. But we'll have to wait and see, and we'll see how this all plays out. Lots of baseball left in Yokohama. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down. This time it's blocked by the catcher Tobashira, and he keeps it in front of him. Does not allow the runner Nakano to advance. It's going to run the count to 2-2. Already 1 wild pitch in the books today. There's different types of techniques to block the baseball. And the one chosen by the catcher Tobashira is the rodeo style. That's where he goes down with the one hand and keeps the throwing hand outside of the body. He was able to do that. That's not something I prefer to teach, but there are people that do that. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Hojo goes down on strikes for out number 2. That is the second strikeout of the inning and the third of the ball game for Hamaguchi. And that's going to leave it all up to the center fielder Koji Chikamoto. So Chikamoto, as we said, he had a .293 batting average during the year. He doesn't have a lot of pop in the stick. 3 homers and 34 runs batted in, but it's the 30 stolen bases for the Tigers center fielder that was eye-popping, leading the Central League in swipes as he steps to the plate. He bats from the left side with a modestly open stance, waiting on the first offering here from the lefty Hamaguchi, who delivers a fastball up and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. One would think that, or at least in my mind, it's imperative to try to get Nakano over to second base somehow. They tried to bunt him over the first time, which was successful. But even here in this situation, to get him into scoring position, to try to let Chikamoto do his thing. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded to first. A diving play by Sato. He gets up and he tags the bag, and that is going to do it. That's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. What a play by Sato. He was shuffling off the base, and he had to dive back to his left to make the stab. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the inning. Well, they got their first hit of the ball game. There was no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2.5. It is the BayStars 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call right after this. Appreciate you for being here. And here are some of our Japanese cheerleaders to keep you entertained. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the third inning. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order to come to bat for the Yokohama DeNa BayStars. That means it's going to be the pitcher, Haruhiro Hamaguchi. He'll be followed by Taiki Sekine and Taishi Kuzumoto, the top 2 hitters in the batting order. A 1-0 ball game as it was jump-started off the bat of Toshiro Miyazaki back in the second inning. Led off with a home run. And here comes the first pitch to Hamaguchi. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hamaguchi on the season was 3 for 30. He batted 100 with no homers and 1 RBI. And he swings through a fastball, and the count is now 0-2. Hamaguchi is a big fella who bats from the left side, but obviously his deal is his work on the mound. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called third strike. And Hamaguchi stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that one go by for out number 1 here in the third inning. And that'll bring up Taiki Sekine to face the right-hander for the Tigers. So 1 up and 1 gone. And Sekine now coming to the plate. Well, for Sekine, he was 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. As we mentioned, he has not seen action at the dish in this series until tonight, but he got the nod in center field. He is getting the start for the BayStars. And the right-hander, Saiki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. As I mentioned, because we call a lot of the games in the Pacific League, we don't always see these games here, and this is a lot of fun being able to do this one, especially the elimination game. We got Blake in here, and he's fist pumping for the BayStars. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Appreciate you, Blake, for stopping in here with us tonight and listening to the commentary. Lots of baseball left in this one. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sekine. The right-hander holds, and now he kicks, and he delivers. And it is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. I have to say that the pitch from the young right-hander, he's pretty firm with his delivery, but I don't know if he's got a lot of cut or arm side run on his pitches, but he does have some depth from time to time, where he's got some downward taper and tilt on his pitch. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. Had to hold in there a little bit because the home plate umpire was rather late in coming up with his decision. I thought he might have been coming up with a right hand to punch him out. That is pitch number 40 here by the Tigers right-hander. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, hopefully, Blake, you can join us in the middle of the night when the next round of the series gets going, as we will be doing the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Oryx Buffaloes this week. Looking forward to doing those games, and we'll stay with that series as long as we can, as that is going to be the one that we will prefer to be calling. But if that ends up as a short series, then we'll bounce over and get the Swallows and whoever they're going to play. There's a fastball swung on and it's lifted into the seats down the third base line. That's going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sekine. Both of these pitchers, as we mentioned, 50 pitches for Hamaguchi in his 3 innings of work, and the starter, Saiki, is on his way to being somewhat similar. He's had 42 pitches so far in this one. Here comes the 3-2 offering as he kicks and delivers. That's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner. It's going to be ball 4. And Sekine is going to get himself a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Taishi Kuzumoto. And for Kuzumoto, he's officially 0 for 1 tonight. He reached on an error by the third baseman his first time up, and now the Tigers are going to send the pitching coach out to the mound to have a word with their young right-hander. His reaction on that last one, on the missed called third strike, he was very theatrical. Threw his hands in the air, couldn't believe he didn't get the call. So there's some obvious frustration that's been shown by the Hanshin right-hander, but his pitching coach has come out to have a word with him, settle him down a little bit. The Tigers, as we said, are in their road grays for this one here, but both teams have pinstripes. They're road grays. They are in the pinstripes as well. So here comes the first offering to Kuzumoto, as instead the pitcher, Saiki, throws over to first base, and diving back in time is Sekine. Sekine did have 5 stolen bases on the season. He can run a little bit. He had limited play this year with the BayStars. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 foot on the dirt. He's got himself a healthy lead over at first base. Here comes the first pitch to Kuzumoto, and it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Rounding second and heading for third. It's booted by the right fielder, and now rounding third and holding at third is going to be the runner, Sekine. It's going to be a single for Kuzumoto, and the BayStars have something brewing here as they've got runners on the corners. They almost got themselves a free run there as Oyama, the right fielder, decided to play soccer with the ball a little bit as he was kicking it around in right field. But no further damage to that. As he went to transfer the ball, he lost it on the transfer. Unbelievable. So runners are on the corners with that single by Kuzumoto, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Kaida Sano. Well, for Sano tonight, actually Kuzumoto cruised into second base on that one. I had to check. I didn't think he was able to do that. So it is runners at second and third here. And they're going to have to probably score that an error on the right fielder to allow the runner to go from first to second. So now the Tigers have got their infield in. Sano is stepping up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. We've got the world turned upside down in the house tonight. And he says, go BayStars. Well, it looks like we have a few people cheering for the BayStars tonight. There's a first pitch breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Sano. Sano is a major run producer in this lineup for the BayStars. He had 22 homers on the year. He had 72 RBIs to go with it. So the right-handed throwing Saiki facing the left-handed hitting Sano. As we said, it is a healthy crowd in Yokohama, and they are in full song here tonight. Here comes the 0-1 offering as Saiki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. This is a big spot right here for Sato, says Blake. I agree with you. This is where he has to come up large, because if he can't deliver here, then the one thing I would have to say is that Shugo Maki will probably get the free pass. If they can retire Sato, they'll put Maki on, and then they will face Miyazaki, who's already homered here tonight. But I don't think you want Shugo Maki swinging the bat. Tough part of the batting order here for the Tigers to face. There's a fastball that misses down in the dirt. The count is now 2-1. I've seen Shugo Maki play a couple of times. I saw some international film on him a few years ago. He was on the World University team, or the University Games team for Japan. And he was putting on some power displays. They were playing the Americans in some sort of preamble tournament or exhibition series, and he put on an absolute hitting show. As we said, Maki is only in his second year in the NPB. But here's the offering to Sato. It's a fastball that misses down, and it gets through the catcher, Umeno. It's going to get all the way to the backstop, and that's going to be a run. That's going to be a wild pitch, and that's a cardinal sin. The catcher cannot let the ball go through his legs. That's all on Umeno. It wasn't a great pitch for sure, but that's got to be an automatic block in a big situation. And now the BayStars have a 2-0 lead, and the runner Kuzumoto has advanced over to third on that wild pitch. That is one thing you tell catchers, is that if it's going to be a wild pitch, it can't get through the wickets. And he did not do his job, Umeno, and that ball went right through him all the way to the backstop to give that BayStars a 2-0 lead. So the runner at third now is Kuzumoto. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Sato. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4. And Sato was aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at the corners. And there is some concern in the Tigers dugout. They've already had 1 trip to the mound. You got to think that there's got to get some action going here, because that is pretty much going to be about it. And that might be it as much as it is right now. And that is exactly what's going to happen. They're taking the ball. As the pitching coach is coming out, the manager is going to let the umpire know that a change is in effect, and the Tigers' starting pitcher has been chased from this one. We're going to get you the pitching change when we come back in just a couple moments. It is 2-0 for the BayStars. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. They do have a pitching change. We are going to get ourselves another right-hander coming into the ball game for the Tigers. And that looks like it is going to be Hamashi, but we're going to have to get you the specs on that in just a second as soon as we can pick up that number. It does look like it's number 36. And so this is going to be Masumi Hamachi coming into the ball game. On the season, he had 52 appearances. He had a 1-3 record. He had worked 47 1/3 innings, allowing 38 hits, only 5 walks. He struck out 38. He had an ERA, sparkling ERA of 1.14. Masumi Hamachi is on in relief of the starter, and you've got to figure that there is no tomorrow. So it's going to be quick hooks all the way around, one would have to think tonight. It's win or go home. And this one here in Yokohama, our friend who has joined us here tonight in the chat room as well, and that would be The World Turned Upside Down. He says he's on vacation in Greece. He's coming back to Japan tomorrow, and he wants to see the BayStars get on to the next round. Well, that would be a lot of fun, I'm sure. And just something as a sidelight for everybody, if you're interested, if you guys get an opportunity to look, this has nothing to do with baseball or Japan, but it does have to do with travel. If you Google Hong Kong free tickets, you'll notice that the Hong Kong government is going to give away 500,000 free round-trip tickets to Hong Kong to stimulate tourism. Details will be coming up shortly, but make sure you bookmark that. I don't know about you guys, but Hong Kong's always been a sort of a mid-destination for me. I definitely would want to entertain and take a look at that one. So make sure you take a look at that after the ball game and see what that might have for you if that is possible. So let's bring Shugo Maki to the plate. Maki, who we said was hitting .291 on the season, 24 homers and 87 RBIs. He's batting with runners on the corners and only one gone here in the inning. And the right-hander now, Hamashi, ready to face him. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It is fielded by the second baseman over to short. The shortstop for one, back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play. It's going to go down in the books as 4-6-3. A really nice play by the second baseman, Hojo. He bobbled it a little bit. He was able to get it into the hands of Nakano, who turned the back end. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their inning, as they have been retired. They got one run in the inning and one hit. There were no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is the BayStars 2 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the 4th inning. We got a lot of action so far in this one. We expect more to come. Be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the Tigers batting order to come to bat to face the left-hander Hirohiro Hamaguchi, and that means it's going to be Yusuke Oyama, Fumihiro Haraguchi, and Teruki Sato, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Tigers. Well, for Oyama, he was 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up. He is on the season, he had himself 23 homers and had 87 RBIs. He had a .267 average entering the playoffs here. So he gets the leadoff spot here. He was the one who kicked the ball around in right field in that last inning on the transfer. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I just have to go back and take a double take. It was the second error committed in the ball game by the Tigers. Their defense, or their poor defense, has shown up. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Drifting back on it is the right fielder Kuzumoto, and he's going to haul it in just at the edge of the warning track. And Oyama is gone for out number 1. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Fumihiro Haraguchi. Well, one of the things I would say is that the Tigers, if I had to place my bets on the worst fielding team in the NPB, my odds would go on to the Tigers year in and year out. And I don't mean that out of disrespect to the Osaka Ball Club. As the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Haraguchi. It's swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. But they play on that all-dirt infield at the Hanshin Stadium. And when you play on turf, the hops, generally speaking, are what we would call more true. And so when you're playing on that type of surface more regular, it obviously is something that would impact your fielding. And there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Of course, the Oryx Buffaloes, when they go and play some of their home games in Kobe, that could be also pointed at them as well, because they do get some of their home games on the old dirt infield, so to speak. But I would say that if I was making that pick every year, I would say that that's because of the home games that are played, and they play obviously half of their 143 at the Hanshin Stadium. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Haraguchi. It's a fastball swung on. It's pop foul right behind home plate. It's going to even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, 50 pitches for Hamaguchi through the first 3 innings. One would have to think that if he got past the 6th inning on the hill, it would be nothing short of a miracle, because I think the BayStars will be looking to turn it over to the pen to try to close it out at some point. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Lawrence Smith is in the house here. He says, do you think the total runs are going to be above 6? Well, I think the over-under, somebody said in this ball game, was 6.5 in the early going. And I would say that the first 2 pitching performances in the first 2 games of the series would lead me to believe that this one here might be a little bit more wide open. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 3-2. However, with that being said, looks like both of these teams have left their bats in the ice coolers. It's not like they've been smashing it around the park. But I would probably lean towards it being greater than 6.5 in this one myself. And that would have been before the game started. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of Miyazaki at third base. And that is another ball hit right on the screws by the Tigers. But Haraguchi lines it right to the third baseman. He is erased for out number 2 here in the 4th inning. That's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Teraki Sato. Well, for Sato, he is officially 0-0 because he had walked his first time up. He was stranded at second base in the 2nd inning. So Sato steps up to the plate. The one thing about Sato that is a bit alarming for me is the amount of strikeouts. There's a fastball that swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field, racing back onto the warning track and looking up, and this one is gone into the camera well. And the Tigers have cut the lead in half to 2-1 on a home run by Sato. That ball got out in a hurry. The center fielder, Sakene, had raced all the way to the wall. And as he ran into the wall, that was the only thing that was able to stop him from getting the baseball. As it is now a 2-1 lead, just like that. Sato goes yard as he drives himself in. And so our friend Lawrence, who was asking whether there's going to be runs in this one, well, there you have it. You're almost halfway to your total. I was just about to say a little bit about Sato needing to be able to cut down on his strikeouts, but if he can deposit balls into the seats with that type of regularity, then that is going to be pretty good. Now, we're going to have to take a look at this one, and I don't know if they're going to go up and take a look, too, on the replay. If that ball was above the line or not above the line, maybe they're not going to look at it, because it looked like it actually kind of wedged into the padding. But the way that the yellow markings are, there's no challenge there because it was to the right side. It looks like that is going to be a good home run. And here's the first pitch offered to Yokohama. It is a breaking ball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. I had to take a look at the replay of that to be able to see that. But there was the yellow lines of where the home run would be. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1 to Yokohama. Yokohama tonight is 0-1. He grounded to second his first time up. He had a .294 average during the year with a homer and 6 RBIs. So the lefty Hamaguchi ready to go back to work again. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-1 to Yokohama. Friend Lawrence says he was hoping for higher run games. Well, as I said, this one here is probably going to be that, one would have to think. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. When you think of the better arms that went in games 1 and 2 of this series, you're getting into the depth, you're getting in a little bit deeper, but I think the runs are going to have to come early, because once they turn it over to the bullpen, it's usually when the game starts to get locked down. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. If you would have asked me before the game, I probably would have also suggested that this game has all the markings to go extra innings. Could be a lot of entertainment in this one, and of course, in this game of the playoffs, it's not a 12-inning game. It is going to play till the death, so to speak. As far as I know, I don't think they're limiting the teams to 12 in the playoffs. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. As we said, it's a beautiful day for baseball in Yokohama, as the BayStars are the home team in this one. 5 clubs that are based in the Tokyo area, and Yokohama is considered one of those teams as well. Of course, the 2 teams in Greater Tokyo are the Giants and the Swallows. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. I've been to both of those stadiums, the Jinju and the Egg, the Tokyo Dome. I've not been to Chiba or to see where the Sato Cebu Lions play, nor have I been to the home of the BayStars. That is on the agenda. I'm thinking probably, if everything goes properly, I may possibly look to go the end of August, early September of 2023, but we're going to see how that plays out. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Yukawa is gone on strikes for out number 3, and that will do it here for the Tigers in their half of the inning, but they get a run back on the homer by Sato. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3.5. It is the BayStars 2 and the Tigers 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call of the bottom of the 4th inning. Glad you guys can make it in here with us tonight.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is going to be the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki, followed by Neftali Soto and Yamato to come to bat. So that is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to face the starting lefty, to face the reliever, Hamachi, who came on in relief of the starter's Psyche. The last half inning, on the first pitch that he threw, he was able to induce a double play from Shugo Maki. He got himself through that inning in a very short order. So here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that misses upstairs to Miyazaki, and the count is 1-0. Miyazaki on a 1-0 pitch, homered to lead off the second inning of the now departed starter Psyche. Our friend The World Turned Upside Down says Yokohama Stadium, Hamasta, is a great park, great atmosphere, and great fans. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Curious to know what type of ballpark food that you would indulge in Yokohama when you're at the game, or what people would say is popular there. And going to ballparks in North America, every ballpark has certain things that they are kind of known for over time. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-0. I've been getting to a lot of Mariners games in the last few years, obviously living in the Pacific Northwest, being able to see the M's. It's a good time to be in that area because the Mariners are putting out a great product right now. So 3 balls and no strikes to Miyazaki as the right-hander Hamachi delivers, and it's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's ball 4. Miyazaki is aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 4th inning. And that is going to bring Umeno up to the mound to have a word with the right-hander, who was walking in the other direction from his catcher as if he didn't want anything to do with them. So Miyazaki's aboard with a walk. It's going to bring Neftali Soto to the plate. Soto is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. But when you're in Seattle, they have a lot of number of different things on their so-called menu. One is the garlic fries. They smell great, but they get soggy after a while, so sometimes you have to avoid those. They also do a really good pulled pork or pulled chicken nachos. You can get all the stuff. You get the cheese, you get the salsa, you get the jalapenos, everything on it. They do a really good job with that. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Soto. Soto grounded to the shortstop his first time up. Growing up a Tiger fan and spending a lot of time at Old Tiger Stadium, they used to have the great ballpark hot dogs, the high grades ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. That's what we used to get when we'd go to those games. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. But after Tom Monahan sold the team and Mike Ilitch took over, I don't know what kind of hot dogs they were selling. They were terrible for a long time. But I have to tell you, now that the Detroit Red Wings have built their stadium in Detroit, where the Red Wings play at the Little Caesars Arena, they've gone back to those old hot dogs. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2 to Soto. And I have to say, I was able to indulge in a couple of hot dogs a couple of years ago when I went back and saw the Red Wings, and you see that stadium for the first time. And they fry them right up in front of you, and it's hot. They do the buns as well. Fantastic piece there. I hope they bring it back to Tiger Stadium because I didn't see it the last time I went later in the summer when I was there. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. Friend Lawrence says he misses the old Tiger Stadium. Yeah, there's some of those stadiums are relics. Our friend Alexander says lobsters are available at the Nats Field. And there's kosher national dogs. Of course, the kosher dog would probably be for a certain audience. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. Nice stop there by the catcher Umeno, who prevented the runner Miyazaki from advancing to second base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Soto, who bats from the right side against the right-handed throwing Hamachi. When I was down in Los Angeles, the big thing was the Dodger dogs. They always talk about the Dodger dogs being great. And I have to say it was a little bit of a disappointment when I was down there. They do grill their dogs. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. Over to second for 1. Back to first, and it's an easy double play. That's going to be a 6-4-3 variety this time. So the pitcher, Hamachi, since he's come into the ball game, he has faced 3 batters, but he's retired four batters. So he's actually got an inning and a third under his belt, yet he's only faced 3 batters. Pretty crazy stuff. 2 double play balls. So 6-4-3 on that one. And that is going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Yamato. Well, for Yamato tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. And we've got time called here as it looks like that there has been something that's been thrown on the field. Looks like it is a hat. And it had to be retrieved by the left fielder for the Tigers, Yokohama. He's able to give it to the ball boy who is retreating. The wind has changed a little bit. At first, in this ball game, the wind was blowing from left field to right field. Now it would appear that the wind is blowing to straight out center field. So we'll see how this is going to change the two offenses of these teams here. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yamato. Yamato, when he lined out his last time to left field, he hit that ball right on the screws, right to Yokohama. He's not a big fella, the shortstop, and as we said, he's a former Hanshin Tiger. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to the right side. It is fielded neatly by the second baseman, Hojo, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Yamato on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the fourth. Well, they got a leadoff walk to Miyazaki. He was erased in the double play. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete. It is the BayStars 2, the Tigers 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 5th inning after this. We appreciate you guys for popping in and listening with us tonight. It is Last Raps Baseball on the air. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top half of the 5th inning, and it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Hanshin Tigers. That means it's going to be the catcher, Umeno, and then it'll be the pitcher, and that'll be Hamachi, and then it'll be Nakano. So interesting to see what type of decisions they're going to make here, if we're going to see a pinch hitter or not for Hamachi. He has pitched very well, I would say, in his inning and 2/3 of relief. As we said, he's faced 4 batters, and he's been able to get 5 outs. That is efficiency for you right there. So, Umeno, and then we'll see if it's going to be a pinch hitter, and then the top of the order, and Nakano. So I'm kind of curious to see how long they're going to hang with Hamachi, or if they're going to be going to the pen and making it a pen day here. That's the beauty of old school National League style baseball, or what they play in the Central League when the pitchers are hitting. So here's the first pitch from the lefty, and it is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Umeno. Umeno flew out to right field his first time up, and it looks like we're going to have our answer, as there is a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2 to Umeno. So we'll have to see who the Tigers will turn to. And in some ways, it makes you wonder why they would do that so early. I mean, they are down the run, but might want to consider saving them a little bit later till late. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Especially if you can get into the point where you're going to have some, what I would say is double switches. I don't know if that is Rojas Jr. or if it is Marte on deck. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. I guess we're going to have to see when they stride to the plate, or is it Rodriguez? I guess we're going to be noticing that as we go. It is a right-handed stick, so that doesn't narrow it down to too many. A really right-handed laden bench and lineup here for the Hanshin Tigers. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Umeno. So it does look like it is going to be number 24. That's going to be Mel Rojas Jr., who is waiting his turn on deck. So curious to see exactly what that's going to look like. Rojas Jr., of course, he had played in the Korean League. It's his second year with the Tigers. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Mackey, who underhands it to Sato at first. And Umeno is going to be retired on a groundout 4-3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the pinch hitter in Mel Rojas Jr. So obviously, going to have ourselves a new pitcher. Rojas Jr. batted .224 this year for the Tigers. He had 9 homers and 27 RBIs. He played in the Korean League prior to coming across to Japan. The 32-year-old in his second season with the Tigers. I'm curious to see what the decisions on some of these players will be for next year, if he will be back or not. If I'm not mistaken, he was one of the better hitters in the KBO before coming over, and that ought to tell you the difference between the caliber of the KBO and the NPB. If he was their MVP, there's a fastball that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Now, personally speaking, I think that the NPB, and this isn't because we call the games, NPB is a much better quality league. And here's the 1-0 pitch, and that has to do with the pitching in the league. And there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over behind the first base dugout. The count is now 1-1 to Mel Rojas Jr. I remember when ESPN was picking up the feeds of the games in the KBO, and Eduardo Perez and John Shambi were doing the games. And as I would watch the games, some of the teams I would say were quality teams. There's no doubt about it. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. But some of the lower end teams you're watching and you're saying, well, there's 3 guys who are, major league type quality guys. And then there's 3 guys that are minor league guys. And then there's 3 guys on the field that look like they could be playing high school ball somewhere. Some of those organizations, they just don't have the money. They don't have the talent. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's tap foul to the first base on deck circle, and the count is now 2-2. And I think one of the ones, and when I think of the Taiwanese player, was it Po Jung Wong or Rung, who came and played for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He's still in their system. He was like the MVP of the Taiwanese league, and he can barely get a sniff of playing time for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Hamaguchi delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Rojas Jr. is gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Nakano. So now we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do for a relief pitcher, what the Tigers are going to move to next. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, what a game. It has been quite the game here. It is a very entertaining affair. As I said, I don't get a chance always to see the Central League games. We call mainly the Pacific League games. Not that we don't like the Central League, but get to follow more of the players. It's easier when you've got 6 teams in the league to follow the players and to know who's who. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. But at the same time, it does change up a little bit when you get a chance to see the Tigers and the BayStars and everybody else in the league. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0 to Nakano. Nakano tonight is 1 for 1. He's got a single and a walk in his 2 trips to the plate. He's been on base twice. He's waiting on the 2-0 offering from the lefty Hamaguchi, who delivers a fastball that just catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. Our friend Alexander says KBO is a double. Our double-A league, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. Yeah, the talent there that they have, and it's they do have some players that are, as I said, major league quality type players, but it's just so sporadic through the league. It's just not what the Japanese league is, that is for sure. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Hamaguchi delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is lined, and a diving stab by the third baseman, Miyazaki. What a great play. We're seeing some web gems all over the park here tonight. And Miyazaki doing it with the bat and doing it with the glove, robbing Nakano of extra bases. And that is going to do it here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4.5. It is the BayStars 2 and the Tigers 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning when we return after this. Appreciate y'all for being with us. What a great game this is turning out to be. Welcome back, everybody. We're cruising to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. That means Tobashira, Hamaguchi, and Sakine. One would have to think that the BayStars lefty is still going to be coming back out to hit. I was saying earlier that I'd be shocked if he got through the 6th inning, but the way things have settled down a little bit, he may be entering to the 7th. But what a great defensive play by the third baseman, Miyazaki, to rob the Tigers hitter Nakano in that last inning, or at the end of the last inning. He had to dive to his right, stayed down to the ground, because that had extra bases written all over it. He had to take a look in his glove to make sure he had it. But what a fantastic play by the BayStars third baseman. And Hamaguchi was very appreciative of that as well. We do have a pitching change for the Tigers, and that is one thing that we are a little slow in which we're getting. It is going to be number 17, and this is Iwasada. Iwasada is coming in. Yuta Iwasada into the ball game. A left-handed pitcher. He has worked 53 ball games during the regular season. A 2-1 record. He had 42 innings pitched, allowed 34 hits, 12 walks. He had given up 16 runs, 12 of which were earned, and he has a 2.57 ERA. He delivers a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yasutaka Tobashira. So Yuta Iwasada into the ball game, taking over here for the right-hander Hamachi, who did a great job in relief. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball, and another one drops in for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Iwasada gets his sign from his catcher Umeno, and he works set at the belt. Now he's ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. It is fielded neatly by Nakano, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Tobashira for the first out of the inning. It goes as a ground out, 6-3. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Harihiro Hamaguchi. For Iwasada, he was the first pick of the 2013 draft. The 31-year-old lefty has played in the NPB since the 2014 season. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. He doesn't particularly look like he's overpowering. But they always say average left-handers are as good right-handers, because if you're only average, you can be pretty good. There's not enough good lefties around, and when they are, they're great. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We've had it all tonight. We've had some home runs. We've had some great defensive plays. And this has been some good baseball from Yokohama. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hamaguchi. Left-hander against the left-hander. Iwasada works and delivers. There's a fastball that is fouled off over by the third base camera well. Nice piece of hitting there by Hamaguchi, just to flick the wrists at it to get it out of there. It's going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Hamaguchi on the season was 3 for 30 in the regular season. He had no homers and 1 RBI. He batted 100. But he's in there looking like he wants to be competitive to hit. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is down. He's saying that he fouled it off, but the home plate umpire is not buying it. Nice stop there by Umeno, who applies the tag. And Hamaguchi is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, and Taiki Sakine. Well, for Sakine, he is officially 1 for 1 tonight, or 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He walked and scored a run in the 3rd inning. He came home on that wild pitch from the starter, Psyche, who put the ball in the dirt and was not able to be stopped by the catcher. Umeno. Went right through his wickets all the way to the backstop. There's the first pitch breaking ball that misses upstairs to Sekeni for ball one. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Friend Alexander says, are you not entertained? This game has been very entertaining so far. Some good baseball. There's a fastball that swung on it, is lifted into shallow left field. Moving back on it is the shortstop. And that's going to be Nakano, who was making the catch. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the 5th inning. They had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. I know in the Pacific League, we always like to call it our Japanese halftime after the 5th inning, where they take an extended break. I don't know about the Central League if they do the same, but they are coming out with the ground screw. So I have a feeling they are going to be doing some field maintenance here. We'll be back in just a few minutes, everybody, with the call. Keep you entertained with this while we put our song on loop. We're going to go get ourselves another fresh glass of water so we can bring this home for you with the top of the 6th in just a few. We'll be right back after this. Or maybe after that. Welcome back, everybody. We are still waiting for this one to resume as they are working on some field maintenance. But I can tell you this, we have a 2-1 scoreline between the BayStars and the Tigers. The BayStars got the scoring going in the 2nd inning on a leadoff home run by Toshiro Miyazaki. He put the BayStars out in front. The BayStars added to their lead in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Taiki Sakane had walked, and then it was Taishi Kuzumoto had singled. And then it went to a second on the error by the right fielder. And then after a walk to kind of Sano, it was actually a wild pitch during Sano's at bat that brought home Sakane for a 2-0 lead. And then in the bottom or top of the 4th inning, it was a Teruki Sato home run that cut into the lead to make the score 2-1. And that is where we stand right now in Yokohama. A solid ball game on our hands here through the first 5. And if we can get the rest of this plays out like this, it's going to be very entertaining to the end. So we'll be back in 30 seconds, everybody, with the call, as Hamaguchi is now onto the mound to do his warm-up tosses, and we'll be right back after this. Actually, let's just stick around here to see if he is going to be doing his tosses. But yes, he is. We'll be back in 30 as he's going to complete that now. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 6th inning. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters in the batting order to face the lefty Hamaguchi. That means Fumiya Hojo, Koji Chikamoto, and Yasuki Oyama to face the BayStars lefty. I would have not thought that Hamaguchi would have got through 6 innings, but we're going to find out right now if he is even going to sniff the 7th. He's at 84 pitches through 5. I would think that this is probably going to be nearing the end of his rope here in this last inning, or in this 6th inning. But we'll have to stay tuned and wait and see. Hojo, who steps to the plate, is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He has struck out, and he had a sacrifice bunt back in the 1st inning. Hojo not necessarily known for his bat as much as it is for his glove. So we'll see what he is about to do here as the lefty goes into the motion and delivers, and Hamaguchi delivers a breaking ball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Hojo batting from the right side against the left-handed throwing Hamaguchi, who delivers a fastball. This is swung on. It is grounded down the left field line into the left field corner. It's going to be extra bases. Rounding first and heading for second is Hojo, as the left fielder Sato comes up with the ball. A leadoff double to start the 6th inning for Hojo, and that is right what the doctor ordered if you're a Hanshin Tiger fan. He was able to turn on that pitch. It was just out of the reach of Miyazaki. Was playing just slightly behind the bag at third base. Couldn't come up with that ball. Was absolutely scorched. So Hojo standing on second with the double, and that brings up Koji Chikamoto to the plate. Well, Chikamoto tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and he's grounded to first. He was retired on a really nice play by Neftali Soto the last time up. But now we have a pinch runner over at second base for Hojo. We'll have to get a check on that one for you. So Hojo out of the game. Let's see who they're going to be running here. This is Kumagaya in to run. So Takahiro Kumagaya to run for Hojo. That will be the end of his night. Interesting times. So Chikamoto standing in, waiting on the first offering from Hamaguchi. And now Hamaguchi steps off and feigns the throw over to second base. And easily making sure that he is there is Kumagi or Kumagi. You're going to have to work on that one there. Kumagai, looks like is how you say his name. I apologize to him. And there's a fastball delivered to Chikamoto. He bunts it and he pops it up right behind home plate. This is the part about Japanese baseball that gets on my nerves a little bit. I love the bunting. I really do. I love the short game. I really do. But if Koji Chikamoto is one of your better hitters hitting in the 3-hole, why are you taking the bat out of his hands? Let him swing the bat. Even if he rolls over to the second baseman, he's going to advance the runner over. There's a chance he can get a base hit here. It's not like you're sending up the catcher Umeno, who's only hitting 220. This guy's batting close to 300. And he's got some pedigree. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I always remember a number of years ago, I was playing for a fella, and he was telling me the story. Donnie Fields was his name, and Donnie was telling us the story that managing a team in a Canadian championship, and his 1 and 2 hitters got on base, and then he bunted the 3-hole hitter, and then they walked the 4-hole hitter. And there's another fastball that is bunted foul over on the third base side, and the count is now 1-2 to Chikamoto. So basically what he did is when the 1 and 2 hitters got on base, he took the bat out of his own player by having him bunt, and then the other team intentionally walked the 4-hole hitter. So in essence, in his mind, the 2 better hitters in his lineup at 3 and 4 to drive runs in, he took the bat out of the 3-hole hitter's hand, and the 4-hole hitter was intentionally walked. Ended up not scoring any runs because the 5-hole guy grounded into a double play. So that's kind of what we see here. Chikamoto now with 1 ball and 2 strikes on him, ready to face Hamaguchi. And here's the fastball. It swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. So if I am Chikamoto, I want to swing the bat. But as I said, when you look down the lineup, there are a number of players like Hojo, who has just been removed from the ball game, or Umeno, or the pitcher for that matter. Yeah, it's an automatic bunt situation. but not for me for Chikamoto, especially hitting from the left side. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the third base side. The count still remains at 1-2. We got Jay Alistar in the house, and we got Michael in here. Michael comes in demanding the live stream. Thanks for stopping in, Michael. We appreciate you for being here. If we show the live stream, we'd be shut down. So it's not going to happen. So 1-2 strikes as Hamaguchi is waiting here, and now he delivers to Chikamoto. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep right field. Moving back on it, and this ball is going to be off the wall. Rounding third and heading home is the pinch runner, and that is going to score the run as the Tigers have now tied the ball game up as Kumagai has crossed the plate on the double by Chikamoto. And the score is now 2-2 here as Hamaguchi has served up the tying run, and that is going to bring the pitching coach out of the BayStars dugout on his way to the mound as the score is now locked up at 2s. This has been a great ball game here tonight. And now it is turning into a seesaw affair as the Tigers are back into it here. The right fielder for the BayStars, Kuzumoto, was playing in shallow right field as he was in a position where if that ball was hit on the ground, he needed to be in a spot where you could throw the runner out. And so Chikamoto drove the ball right over his head into right field. And by the looks of it here, this might be the end of the leash for Hamaguchi as he is standing on the mound here as the pitching coach is talking to him, but this is going to be one of the stranger pieces. It looks like he has taken the ball. The manager has come out to give the home plate umpire his decision. Looks like we are going to have ourselves a pitching change. Well, if that is indeed the case, and that's what it looks like, we'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. We have ourselves a 2-2 ball game. It is all brand new baseball. Hamaguchi's night is done. Chikamoto is his responsibility at second base. We'll be back in a few minutes after this. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change on our hands, and our friend the living room says it's starting to get a little busy in here. Yeah, you're going to have to take a number and wait your turn, but we do appreciate everybody who is coming in. That is the end of the line for Hamaguchi. His night is over as he went 5+ innings. He is responsible for the runner Chikamoto at second base, so his line is not completed yet, but they are going to the bullpen, and this is one of those ones that I talk about which slows the game down, not just at the major league level, but also in the NPB, is the length of time to get the pitchers out onto the mound. Just seems like it goes forever. We do have a right-hander who is coming into the game. And so this is where it is. I'm going to leave Alexander Leggett, maybe if you want to give these guys a bit of a heads up. But we can tell you where to go here, and that would be is if you go to Google, you type in Live QQ, and you'll be able to find yourself a website, and you're going to have to do some navigation over there. It's not in English. But once you get to that site, you're going to be able to sync yourself up. And obviously, you're going to have the feeds, but you're going to have to do some stuff. You're going to have to use your Google Translate. That's the best I can do to you. If we provide links, we're going to get ourselves into trouble. So good luck to you on that. And if you need extra help, just come on back, and I'm sure some folks in the chat would be more than happy to help you out. And so we do have a new right-hander in the ball game, and it is going to be Taisi Ira, I-R-I-E. I see that, I think of Ireland. This is going to be his appearance tonight. After 57 during the regular season, he was 5-1. He had himself 63 innings pitched. He allowed 49 hits, walked 26 and struck out 69. And he had an ERA of 3. So the youngster, the 24-year-old, is on in relief. And squaring to bunt is Oyama. And Oyama pops it up. And this is behind home plate. And making the catch this time is the catcher, Tobashira. So taking the bat out of the four-hole hitter's hands. And Oyama, who had 23 homers on the year, pops it up. Unable to get the job done as he pops it out to the catcher. He's gone for out number one. That's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Fumihiro Haraguchi. And that, of course, brings an applause to Hamaguchi, the starting pitcher who has come out of the ball game. So Ira does the job for the first out. So Taisi Ira getting the first out on the first batter that he faces. That brings up Haraguchi to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and he has lined out to third base. So Ira now looking at the runner at second base. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that knocks Haraguchi off the dish for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The right-hander leans in against the sign from his catcher, Tobashira. He checks the runner at second. He checks him again. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Haraguchi. It is Teruaki Sato who homered, who is waiting his turn on deck. They certainly don't want to mess around here with Haraguchi. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the pitcher checks the runner over at second, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul just past the coach's box over at third base, and the count goes even to 2, or goes to 2-1. So the information that both Alex and the living room have provided you is the best way to be able to do that. And so my suggestion is that's what you want to look at. And if you have any problems in the search, come on back in and ask the chat. I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Haraguchi. As Ira kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-1. And the other option is you can go to the NPB old Reddit page. And if you go and do that, then you can do your search, and there are some other options that are provided over there, and one of those may be able to help you out as well. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Haraguchi. Right-hander Ira holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. That's going to run the count full to 3-2. That would have been ball 4. As the batter Haraguchi could not hold up. Was just looking too enticing. Absolutely filthy pitch there by the righty Ira. So the runner at second is Chikamoto. We're all locked up at 2s here in the top of the 6th inning. Haraguchi at the plate, waiting on the offering here from the right-handed reliever for the BayStars. And there's a fastball delivered. It is swung on. It is lined into left field. It's down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Chikamoto. Here's the throw to the plate. It's not in time. Chikamoto has scored, and it's going to put the Tigers in the lead 3-2 on the base hit by Haraguchi, an RBI. And that is going to deliver Chikamoto with the 2nd run of the inning, the 3rd of the ball game now for the Tigers. And that is where we have it right now, 3-2. What an exciting ball game this has turned into. As both of these clubs are like in a heavyweight boxing match going toe-to-toe. Chikamoto slides in safely. It looked like a Trey Turner slide, as he was very, very smooth the way that he got around. And applause all the way around for the Tigers, especially from their bench and their visiting traveling supporters, as that is a single and an RBI for Haraguchi. That's going to bring up Teruaki Sato. Well, the big fella has last time up homered. He's been on base twice tonight. He had a home run and an RBI, a solo shot in the 4th, and he walked back in the second inning. So here comes the first offering. It is a breaking ball that misses outside to Sato. The count is 1-0. Yatu Yu is in the house with us. We appreciate you for being here. We've got somebody else that has jumped in here from Twitch. We appreciate Big Monkey 44 for joining us. And there's a 1-0 offering, and it is a fastball that is swung right on through by Sato, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Big Monkey 44 jumped in and wanting to know where he can watch the video stream. Well, if you were in the YouTube feed, there was some information that was provided into the chat. Pieces was the recommendation to go through that site. But Monkey, if you're on YouTube, you should come on over here to the Last Craps Baseball channel, because some of the folks in the chat can help you out. But if you're on Twitch, then it might be a little bit longer process to help you navigate through that. So 1-2 strikes it is to Sato. And then what happens is people sync up the English feed and they listen to us while the game is going on, as we give you guys the commentary to go with it. So here comes the 1-2 offering as Ira holds at the belt. And he delivers to Sato. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is going to remain at 1-2 strikes. So the Tigers have a 3-2 lead now here in the top of the sixth inning. Some pretty crazy stuff going on. It's a seesaw affair in Yokohama. And I think if there's one team that would be excited to know that it won't be the BayStars, the Swallows have definitely not fared well against Yokohama this year. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Sato is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Naomasa Yokawa. And I say that because it has been one of those things this year, that's for sure. We've got Kepa Colbert in here, and he's going to get some information from some of the other guys. We've got our friend Smokin' Babylon in here. There's your friend Kepa Colbert, or our friend Kepa Colbert, who is the Big Monkey 44 from Twitch, as we told him to come in here. So maybe some of you guys can help him out a little bit, as there's a fastball that misses down and away to Yokawa. The count is 1-0. As he was asking about the feed from his Twitch account. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is a split finger pitch that swung on and missed. The count is 1-1. Smokin' Babylon 12 says, I always wanted to watch Japanese baseball, but can't find any trustworthy service to watch it. It is a bit of a problem sometimes. It is a bit of a hassle, I would say. And so certainly some of the stuff is getting reliable feeds. And here comes the pitch. It is a split finger pitch. It misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say Yokawa didn't go, and that's going to run the count to 2-1. Smokin' Babylon says, who do you want to win? I just want to see good baseball. And neither one of these teams are, that I would say, are favorites of mine. We don't really watch the Central League a whole lot, as we call games in the other league. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. As Ira delivers, it's a fastball swung on, it's fouled straight back. Yokawa was right on that fastball, but wasn't able to stay on top of it. That runs the count now to 2-2. So 2 strikes. 2 runs in here in the inning. The runner at first is Haraguchi. There is 2 gone. As the batter Yokawa has 2 strikes. So it's 2s all over the place right now. Right-hander leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Tobashira. He holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch. It's swung on and missed. It is down in the dirt. Tobashira picks it up. He throws to first. It's going to go down as a strikeout, 2-3 to end the inning. And that will do it here for the Tigers. But there was damage done and lots of it. 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Hanshin Tigers 3, the Yokohama DeNa BayStars 2. We are going to be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning. And by all accounts, it looks like we may have ourselves yet another pitching change. But hang tight. We'll check that for you when we come back. Appreciate you guys listening in and for being here with us. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars, as we are going to be taking a peek here to see what we have going on. I hope we didn't lose our feed and we have some technical difficulties, but we're going to check in on that here in just a moment or two. As I think we may have ended up losing our feed for this one. We're talking about reliable feeds. But nope, looks like we're all okay. Yeah, sometimes we had a challenge a couple of times this year where it seemed like we were losing stuff, but nope, we are all good to go. So no issues there. Just have to wait for everything else to come aboard. So it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. That means it's going to be Kuzumoto, Sato, and Maki. We'll see what we have here to bring this one together. As we said, it is 2, 3, and 4 to come to bat. But while we wait here, because we don't have our picture, but now we have it back up and going. So pretty good, pretty reliable stuff so far, except for this little bit of a glitch. And so the left-hander is back in for another inning of work, and that is Iwasada. He is back here facing the BayStars here. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. Just have a couple of little pieces for our end of things. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kuzumoto. It's Kuzumoto, Sato, and Maki here in the 6th inning. And that's where we stand. Alexander says, agreed. It's hard to mix the music sometimes. And so that's all we can do. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. You can tell that sometimes we have some of the stuff is like some of that. Our friend in the living room says Google Live QQ for his assistance. Appreciate you. Yeah, we got multiple streams that are going on, and we just happen to have the main feed that went down. But the side piece is working quite nice. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty Iwasada ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line. It's trouble. If it stays fair, it could be gone. But no, he's going to hook that one into the seats, and it's going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. There was no mystery there. Kuzumoto absolutely turned on that pitch. Hammered it right down the line. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kuzumoto. Kuzumoto tonight 1 for 2. He has a single and he reached on an error. He's been aboard twice. So there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-2. So Iwasada getting the job done here. It's been a great night for baseball, a great day for baseball. Obviously, the New York Mets lost that game to the San Diego Padres. Tonight it's going to be a West Coast matchup in the National League. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2 to Kuzumoto. It'll be the Padres and the Dodgers battling it out, and it'll be the Braves and the Phillies looking to get a berth into the National League Championship. In the American League, the Astros and the Mariners will go head-to-head in one of the division semifinals, or league semifinals, where the Yankees and the Guardians will go at it in the other. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it's pop foul behind home plate, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're talking about some of that stuff with regards to the music in particular. Some of that stuff, the music that's put in, it's even when you download it from YouTube, because it's all YouTube stock music. We don't do anything with it. And sometimes it's one song, one artist, or artist to artist. It's all the same settings that we use. Why some are louder than others, I do not know. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Racing over to his right is Chikamoto, and he dives and makes the catch. What a fantastic play by the Hanshin center fielder, as he is able to get on his horse and make the play that is going to retire Kuzumoto for the first out of the inning. He is gone for out number 1, and then we have Kaida Sano coming to the plate. Well, Sano, who is making his 3rd plate appearance in this one, he is 0 for 1. He's bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has walked. Friend Jay Alistar in the house here says no outs. Well, there is one now. That great play by Chikamoto. So the lefty, Iwasada, ready to face the left-handed hitting Sano. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's tap foul over on the first base side. The count is 0-1. Sano during the regular season hit .306. Really, this part of the batting order, the BayStars can really swing the bats. You know, they don't even have Tyler Austin in the lineup today. He came off the bench last night. You think about it, Sano, Maki, Miyazaki, Sato. You got some hitters that can do a lot of damage. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It has popped up behind second base, moving over. Underneath it, Tigers is now, he was pinch run for. So when they took him out of the game, but we do have a conference on the mound. I wonder if this is going to be it for Iwasada, the starter or the reliever here, as the pitching coach is on his way to the mound. This could be it. Looks like it is going to be it. It's going to be his day is going to be done. Taking a look at the Hanshin Tiger substitutions. See where that was, but a great play by Chikamoto for the first out of the inning. We go back and we'll take a quick peek here. Looks like it still is. They still have it listed as Nakano as the shortstop, but I find that hard to believe. Actually, it was Hojo who was taken out of the game. Nakano was the one who's still in. Hojo is gone. It is Kumagaya who is in for him, but Kumagaya is actually playing third base. The shortstop is still Nakano, so Nakano made that catch. A couple of changes in the lineup here. So we do have a pitching change. We're going to take a little break here. We'll come back in 30 seconds. We appreciate you guys for being here. I'll be right back after this. My friend Alexander Leggett and I flatlined for a few moments. Yep, no, we're still here. We do have a pitching change on our hands. We'll be right back in a moment. Can you guys hear me now? Our feed there for a little bit. We're back in action. Pretty sure we're okay, but I don't know if you guys are going to be able to get this here. There we are. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a difficulty. I can tell you this, our headset went dead. We have a Bluetooth piece, and it was a line drive to the center fielder that ended the inning after we had a reliever come in, and Shugo Maki is gone for the third out of the inning. So I apologize to everybody for that one. A little bit on our end. My stuff had taken a turn. I've got a Bluetooth headset, and we looked like the battery went out, so we're using the backup headset. So we do have Edwin Escobar, the lefty, coming into the ball game now for the BayStars to take over on the mound. So he is coming in to pitch, and he is going to be facing for the Hanshin Tigers, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. The pitcher's spot is due up second. So we'll see what Escobar has here to offer. Well, that's what happens sometimes. Great fun and games, and that is where it is when you are doing live stuff. I wish we had a team of 10 people, because then we could always put the blame on somebody else, but nope, we can't do it because it all falls on me. And so I apologize for that. We're glad you guys are still stuck around with us. So Escobar into the ball game. He had 70 appearances this year. He's had a 4-2 record. He worked 63 in the third innings. He allowed 48 hits. He had walked 29. He had struck out 51. He had an ERA of 2.42. So 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. Ryutaro Umeno here to face him first. And then we said we'll have the pitcher spot in the batting order. We'll see what that will bring. And then the top of the order in Nakano. So here we go. As Escobar kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to Miyazaki at third. He takes it on one hop. He throws to first. And Umeno is going to be retired on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the pinch hitter for the Hanshin Tigers. So the Tigers are turning this one over to number 15. But who is 15? Is 15? This is one of the other pitchers. This is Junya Nishi. So Junya Nishi is coming to bat. He swings the bat fairly well for a pitcher. He was 6 for 26 on the season. He hit 231. He takes a first pitch fastball up and in for ball 1. He's got a big smile on his face that he's getting an opportunity to pinch hit here. So Junya Nishi is a bat that is being used, and he swings at a fastball and he lines that one down the left field line, and the count is now 1-1 to Nishi. Always love it. I remember Fernando Valenzuela back in the day when he would come in and pinch hit sometimes for the Dodgers, usually to sacrifice bunt. But Nishi with that slightly open stance, and he looks like he means business. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line, and it's going to be off the wall. And that is going to be Nishi. He's digging for 2. Here comes the throw in. It's not going to be in time. And the pinch hitting pitcher for the pitcher has got himself a double. And how about those apples? He is on second base, and that is going to bring up the top of the order and Takuma Nakano. There's nothing like that when you've got a pitcher hitting for the pitcher. And the pitcher does his job. That's unbelievable. As he gives the big fist pump at second base. So 1 gone, runner at second. And Nakano stepping to the plate. He bats from the left side against the left-handed throwing Escobar. Escobar checks the runner, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that is swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is 0-1. Nakano today is 1 for 2. He lined out to third his last time up. He singled in the third and walked in the first. So the lefty now kicks and delivers, does Escobar, and there's a fastball that he swings through and misses, and the count is now 0-2. Living Room says there's a deep fly ball by Castellanos that would have been a home run. Maybe. Possibly so. Or if it was Castellanos in the outfield, it might have been a triple. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakano. Lots of action here in Yokohama. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is hit into deep right field. Racing back on the warning track and making the catch up against the wall is the right fielder Kuzumoto. Tagging at second and heading over to third is the runner Nishi. I gotta say, Nakano sent that a long way. The ever-changing wind in Yokohama is now blowing out. And that was definitely in a positive manner for Nakano, but he is retired for the second out of the inning. So 2 away here in the 7th, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Fumiya. Well, was going to bring up Fumiya Hojo. As Hojo's day is done. This is going to be number 4. This is Kumagaya getting his first at bat. So Kumagaya came in as a pinch runner for Hojo. I think 156 on the season. The first pitch is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. They might want to consider bringing a pitcher to come to bat for him. The light-hitting infielder is now over at third base, as they do have some movement around a little bit in the infield. And here comes the 0-1. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2. Takahiro Kamagi batting in this situation. And there is a fastball delivered by Escobar. It is swung on and missed. And Kamagi is gone on strikes for the third out of the inning, and Escobar gets himself out of a jam, as that is going to do it here in the top of the 7th for the Tigers. There was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner stranded aboard. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the Tigers with a 3-2 lead over the BayStars. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Hopefully any technical difficulties are along behind us. We'll be right back in just a few. To the stream. All right, everybody, let me know if you guys can hear me. We are back in again. Looks like we're having some struggles. I'm not sure why this is. We have a couple of minor issues that we're just dealing with, and we're not 100% sure if that is the case or not. We've had to jump out, and I don't know if we've lost our Twitch stream or not. But it does look like that might be the case when we bounced in and out of the studio. So hopefully that is there. We've got our friend that are still listening with us, Alex, and the living room. So coming to bat, or scheduled to come to bat, it is going to be Neftali Sato. And then it'll be Yamato and Tobashira. So we're going to see if Nishi stays in the ball game, or if they are making yet another pitching change here. So I've got to do a little catch up with you. So Sato is leading it off here in the inning. As the right-hander gets the sign, it is Junya Nishi that is on the mound. And he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that is swung on. The count is quickly 0-1. Junya Nishi, of course, as the distant relative of Yuki Nishi, who is also a pitcher in the Tigers staff. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count now is 1-1 strike. Friend the living room says he likes this one, and he says it's nice lows too. I don't know about that. I'm just not really sure what is the issue here. We're going to have to sort some stuff out, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. I don't know if it's the mic that goes into the Blue Yeti or if it's the going into the computer, what the situation might be. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Or sorry, that's lifted over into foul territory. Moving over is the second baseman, who's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it for Sato as he has popped out to the second baseman. Trying to do multiple things here, and I'm not doing any of them very well. Apologize to everybody that is here with us. Is having to listen to me yammer on a little bit here, but a whole lot of not much. So that is going to bring up the shortstop, Yamato. Yamato tonight is 0 for 2. He has flown to left, and he is grounded to second. As the pitch, it is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Also have to update our ticker across the bottom of this for everybody as well, as we are in the bottom half of the seventh inning. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul, and the count is now 1-1 on Yamato. The second baseman is Obata now for the Tigers, as they had taken out Yokohama out of the lineup, so we're trying to keep up with the other switch. So Nishi delivers a fastball that misses, and the count is now 2-1 to Yamato. So 2-1 strike. Our friend the living room says, do your best impersonation of the rest of the inning in Barry White. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2 to Yamato. I don't know if I can give a deeper voice than Barry White. He's got his own stuff going on there for sure. So 2 strikes. Nishi gets his sign, and he rocks into the motion. He kicks, and he delivers. And that is a breaking ball swung on. It is lined on one hop over to the shortstop. It is fielded by Nakano, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Yamato on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. And that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Yasutaka Tobashira. This is the other part of the game that I really find interesting. So you've got the catcher coming up. Escobar potentially could be the on-deck hitter, the reliever. Do you let him come back out and pitch the next inning? I would, because he was fairly economical in his half of the seventh. On the flip side of the coin, you've also got the opportunity where you can take him out of the ball game, but then you're going to have to burn a pinch hitter in the next inning, and you're also burning another pitcher. There's a breaking ball that misses outside for a ball. The count is 1-0 to Tobashira. Tobashira is 0 for 2 tonight. He is lined to first, and he is grounded to short. So the right-hander Nishi gets his sign, and he rocks into the delivery. And he kicks, and he fires. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. So 2 strikes. As we try to catch up on our banner here a little bit, as we are in the bottom half of the seventh inning. He was skipping right along. There is a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is now 2-1. Friend Alex Scott in the house tonight. Appreciate you for dropping in. He says, go Tigers. Tyler Austin is waiting his turn on deck. Should they have to get to him, it's a breaking ball that drops in, and the count is now 2-2. course, Tyler Austin, the former New York Yankee, and spent some time in the San Francisco Giant, Minnesota Twin, and I believe Milwaukee Brewer organizations. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tobashira as Nishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over the head of the pitcher. It is fielded by the second baseman, Obata, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Tobashira on a ground out, 4-3, the third out of the inning. So this becomes the chess piece. Are we going to see Escobar for another inning, or are they going to the bullpen, the BayStars? So stick around, everybody. Looks like that the manager is on his way out, and I have a feeling we're going to get yet another pitching change. It is 3-2 through 7. The Tigers have the lead. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th. After this, when we return, hopefully everything will work out in good shape. Let's give it a test here and see if we've got some stuff to go at. Here we go. Here's our music. Welcome back, everybody. I can't hear a thing with music at my end, so hopefully we can hear something there. Our friend Living Room says it's always too loud. That's got no control of that, so you're just going to have to bite the bullet, or you're going to have to find the living room to call your games for you, because I've got nothing I can do on the music part. But what I can't do is I can't hear anything there. So now we are back in the action. We do have a relief pitcher coming in for the BayStars as they are turning it over to a right-hander here. A little bit interesting to see if that was the decision that was they were going to do. This could be a number 13 in the ball game. This is going to be Hiromu Ise. I-S-E is how they spell his last name. So he is coming on in replacement of Escobar. So Hiromu Ise on in relief of Escobar. And he is going to be entrusted to face Koji Chikamoto, Yusuke Oyama, and Fumihiro Haraguchi, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Tigers batting order. So we'll see how this is about to play out. So Chikamoto stepping to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He scored the go-ahead run after he doubled home the pinch runner Kumagai. And then he scored himself on a RBI as he was brought home on an RBI single by Haraguchi. 3-2, the Tigers have the lead. And as I said before, this game smells like it could have extra innings written all over it, as we are now in the top of the 8th inning. I just got that feeling it is. And for those of you who are on the over and the under, you're at, I think it was 6.5 at the beginning of the game, and you're right at 5 right now. There's a first pitch breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Chikamoto. Chikamoto, they wanted him to bunt in that last at bat, and he popped it up, and he'd had one that was foul, and then he ends up smoking the double to tie the ball game. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field, just moving over to his right and making the grab. Sakane, and that is going to retire Chikamoto for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yusuke Oyama. Well, for Oyama, strides to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded to short. He has flown to right, and he has popped to the catcher. So Alex Scott says Issei. That's how he would say it. Well, we'll go with Alex on this one. first pitch delivered by Issei was a breaking ball swung on and missed by Oyama, and the count is quickly 0-1. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined right to the second baseman, Maki, who makes the catch. Good swing by Oyama, but he is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the hero from Mahiro Haraguchi, or at least the hero for the Tigers, as he drove in the go-ahead run with his base hit single to left field in his last at-bat. So Haraguchi 1 for 3 tonight and an RBI as he strides to the plate here with 2 outs at the top of the 8th inning. And the right-hander here ready to deliver. And again, of course, we're going to have technical difficulties. Got a little bit. What else? Why else would we not have technical difficulties? We've got the right-hander in the middle of his motion, and everything all comes to an abrupt halt. As Issei is not making it Issei for us. Hope we haven't lost the feed, but looks like we have it here. Had to go to our backup feed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Haraguchi, who, as they kick and deliver and it is fouled away, Issei has now still got the count at 1-2. So we've lost our main feed, but we have our backup feed in place. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Haraguchi. As the right-hander holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over to his left is the left fielder. And that is Sato, who makes the catch. And that is going to do it. As Haraguchi is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, it was cruising along for us for 5 innings. And all started to be all heck has gone sideways. Where no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board for the Tigers. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We're going to try to sort ourselves out. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Slated to come to bat is the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order for the BayStars. Hang tight, everybody. We're going to try to grind it through this one as best we can. This has been great tonight with all the fun stuff we're having to deal with. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Junya Nishi on the hill who is completing his warm-up tosses, and he is scheduled to face the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. We would fully expect that the BayStars are going to have themselves a pinch hitter to come to bat. Nishi has been out for an inning and a third. He has thrown 20 pitches thus far in this one here as he's completing his warm-up tosses. We're ready to get this one ready to go again. Of course, the living room says it's Freddy's Funhouse. Definitely not fun here. Alex Scott says he appreciates the broadcast, and we appreciate you for being in here. Make sure you bookmark us during the week because we are going to be back with the Pacific League action. It's what we like to do on Wednesday and Thursday in the middle of the night, North American time. So hopefully you can join us for all the action. It'll be the Oryx Buffaloes and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. So Nishi has completed his warm-up tosses. We are ready to resume the action. We're just checking in to see what exactly they're going to get for a pinch hitter to face him here. So Nishi is doing his tour around the back of the mound. We'll see what they have here to come to bat. Looks like there is a defensive change for the Tigers in the outfield. We'll try to get some of that a little bit later. It looks like it's Igoe that is in. Possibly even I think that it could be Oyama that has come into the infield. So some changes all around. And there's a first pitch breaking ball delivered. It's taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. The pinch hitter in the ball game, this is Ito, who is one of the catchers. So Ito in to pinch hit. Here's the offering from Nishi. It is a breaking ball swung on a line drive, and it is a great catch by the third baseman, Kumagawa, guy who makes a grab as he goes into foul territory to rob Ito of a potential extra base hit. He hit that ball right on the screws. Beautiful reaction by the third baseman. And hard luck here for the BayStars as there is one up and one away. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Sekene. Well, for Sekene tonight, he's officially 0 for 2 and a walk. He has scored one of the BayStars 2 runs. So that last ball was hit right on the screws. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We're getting into the deep water, as they like to say. Teddy Atlas always used to say that in boxing. Once you get past the 10th round, get into the deep water. Well, they're in the deep water right now. The BayStars got to find some instant runs. The breaking ball misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Sekene. Nishi kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses low and away, and the count is now 3-0. Well, Nishi certainly doesn't want to walk the leadoff hitter to set the table for the part of the batting order that can do some damage. So here comes the 3-0 offering. It is a fastball that misses way outside, and that's going to be ball 4. Sekene is aboard with a 1-out walk. That is going to bring up Taishi Kuzumoto to the plate. And that's also going to bring the pitching coach on a full trot out of the dugout. He's going to come out and have a word with his young right-hander, Junya Nishi, on the hill here. Our friend Smokin' Babylon says, what's the score? We have the ticker running across the bottom. There's a 3-2 lead for the Hanshin Tigers here in the top of the 8th inning. As Kuzumoto strides to the plate, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's been on base twice. He reached on an error in the first inning. He singled in the 3rd, and he flew out in the 6th inning to straightaway center field. But it looks like the Kuzumoto's day is done. We're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here. A little surprising to me, as the BayStars are turning to a pinch hitter in this situation. Take a look to see who we have here. I don't know if I've got what it is. On my roster, it is Kuwahara. So Masayuki Kuwahara into pinch hit. He is an outfielder, so he is going to be replacing Kuzumoto. But he is on to bunt right now, as he's already squared around in this situation. And here comes the pitch. And he gets it down. It's a good one. It's up the first base line. Nishi fields it, and he throws to first. And that is going to retire Kuwahara on a sacrifice. It goes down as 1-4 for the second out of the inning. It's going to advance Sekene over to second. That's going to bring up Kaita Sano, and it's looks like we are going to get a visit to the mound. Are we going to get a pitching change here? It looks like Junya Nishi's day is done, as that is going to be his end of his performance. Well, they've come out to replace him. We're going to see where they're going to in the bullpen here. There is 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th with a runner at second base. Hang tight, everybody. Pitching change here. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is the pitching change as they are going to the bullpen. It is going to be number 65, and it's going to be Kiyomi Yuasa into the ball game. Yuasa has worked 59 ball games this year for the Tigers. He has a 2-3 record. During the regular season, he had 58 innings pitched. He allowed 38 hits, 12 walks. He struck out 67, and he had a sparkling ERA of 1.09. And he is going to be on to face Kaita Sano here in the 8th inning as Sano will come to bat with the runner Sekine at second and 2 away. So the Tigers are looking to seal the deal here to get through this inning. As we said, it is nail-biting time right now in Yokohama. So you've got your 3-hole hitter at the plate, and Sato, who is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He's bounced into a fielder's choice. He has popped to short, and he has walked. So this is one of those situations. Our friend Michael, who popped into the stream, says that his stream went down. It's been a bit of a battle tonight all the way around. There's a lot of technical stuff that is happening. But I guess the old saying, beggars can't be choosers. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, DAZN used to carry the games in the United States. If you have that on your cable package, I don't know if they're carrying it anymore in the USA. That was one of the things that was a positive feature. If you were in Hawaii, ABC used to carry the Japanese games as well. One of the Hawaiian stations, or ABC in Japan on the Big Island. So this is going to be Kaita Sano is on here. He's going to be facing Yuasa. So Nishi is done, and Yuasa is in relief. And the first pitch is a split figure pitch that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Sano. Waiting on deck is Shugo Maki. It doesn't get any easier. So one would think that they want to get through this inning here and finishing off with Sano. Base hit here is a good opportunity for that runner at second base to score. Sekine can run a little bit. Here comes the 1-0 offering. As the right-hander Yuasa kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. It is fielded neatly by the first baseman, who flips it over to the pitcher covering. And that is going to do it. That's going to go as a ground out, 3-1. And the BayStars are done here in their half of the 8th inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was no hits. There were no errors. And there was one runner left aboard. We are now through 8 complete. And Yokohama, it is the Hanshin Tigers 3 and the Yokohama DeNa BayStars 2. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the top of the 9th inning. Hang tight, everybody. We got some great baseball still to come. NPB style. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be another pitcher in the pitching parade for the BayStars. It is going to be their closer. It is going to be Yamazaki coming on in relief. So the right-hander Yasuaki Yamazaki on in relief. This is the fifth. He had 56 appearances in the regular season. He was 0-2. He had 37 saves. He had worked 54 1/3 innings, allowed 29 hits. He had walked 9 and struck out 42, and he had an ERA of 1.33. Actually, the first pick in the 2014 draft. He is on. He's been in the NPB since 2015. The 30-year-old who just turned 30 last week on in relief here. So Yamazaki taking over here in the top of the ninth inning. So he's got to be able to hold the Tigers in check. And then it is going to be the bats of the BayStars that are going to have to try to go to work if they're going to knock off these Hanshin Tigers. And who is he going to face? Well, he's got Sato, Obata, and Umeno coming to bat here in the ninth inning, or at least scheduled to come to bat. So Sato at the plate. He has a home run tonight. He's 1 for 2. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and away for ball one. The count is 1-0. Sato also had a walk in the second inning. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander holds at the chest, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses way outside. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As we said, Obata is slated to hit next. And of course, it'll be Umeno and then the pitcher spot. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1 to Sato. Sato, the big left-handed slugging third baseman for the Tigers. Definitely ran into that pitch earlier on in the ball game, and he's looking to be able to do it again here. Here comes the 2-1 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. I will say this. When I watch some of the Japanese pitchers pitch, the split-finger pitch is obviously a chase pitch, but you also have to be able to show it for a strike. It's something the Japanese pitchers can do very well as a whole. I was thinking of Kevin Gausman, who pitched for the Toronto Blue Jays the other day. I don't know if I saw one of his split-finger pitches be called for a strike. Everything that he threw was out of the zone, and nobody was able to catch up with it. So here's the 2-2 to Sato as Miyazaki delivers. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. I think Yamazaki was really concerned about that one as Sato had a good rip at that one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Alex Scott says 1 more inning, he's getting nervous. Probably not as nervous as the BayStar fans, as they're the ones that are not in the lead. They're the ones that are behind. It's going to be an exciting finish right to the end here, I think. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. I often wonder how closers or certain closers will respond in non-closing situations. Obviously, Yamazaki, the closer, but he's not in a position to close the game out. He's got to be able to keep the Tigers at bay so that the BayStars have a chance to be able to come back and at the minimum tie it or be able to take it into extra innings. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Sato is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. A great pitch by Yamazaki. It was a split finger pitch that was started at the knees and just fell a few inches out of the zone, and he was able to retire Sato on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the batter Obata. As we said, that's what we've got here on our cards. We're going to just take a look here. Obata, a left-handed stick. Yuhei Obata, he is batted 188 on the season. First pitch is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Obata had 1 homer and 5 RBIs. It's his 3rd season at the NPB level. He's just a youngster. He just turned 22 at the end of last month. There's another split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. He had the most number of plate appearances in his rookie year, back when he was 19 and just turning 20. Last year he had 25 at-bats or 23 at-bats. This year he had 69. So really a part-time player. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed. Yamazaki makes quick work of the first two batters he's faced, back-to-back strikeouts. It's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Ryotaro Umeno. Well, Umeno tonight is 0 for 3. He has flown to right. He's grounded to second and grounded to third in his 3 trips to the plate. The Yokohama faithful are not quite as exuberant as they were a few innings ago. There's nervousness and calmness. And as I said before, probably the occult Swallows are, I don't want to say happy, but I'm sure they don't care who they play, but they've definitely had their struggles against the BayStars this year. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So one would have to think that I'll take your chances with the Tigers maybe more than you would with the BayStars if their pitching has got their number. So no balls and 1 strike. And here's the offering from Yamazaki. It's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. We're here in the top of the 9th inning. It is 2 away. It's a 1-1 count to the catcher, Umeno. Yamazaki ready to work again as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly over to short. It is fielded by Yamato, who throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 6-3 for out number 3, and we are going to the bottom of the 9th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. This is crunch time here in Yokohama. It is going to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. This is what we play for. This is the crunch time, and it's the heart of the batting order coming to bat for the BayStars. Shugo Maki, Toshiro Miyazaki, and Neftali Sato to come to bat here. And I would have to think that we're going to see more than likely, if one of these guys get on, you got to think that Tyler Austin is going to get a chance to swing the bat here somewhere. And I would circle Yamato as the guy that they would pinch hit for in this ball game. Well, Maki is coming in. The pitcher is still the same. It's Yuasa who is on in relief as he got the final out of the 8th inning. Maki today so far, we lost that feed a bit in the 6th inning there, and I believe he had a base hit in that inning in the 6th, as it was Miyazaki who ended up closing out that inning. Was the technical difficulties that we were running into. So he steps to the plate, does Shugo Maki. And we're ready to get this one going. Yuasa looking to try to close this baby out. And the first pitch to Maki is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Maki. I have to say, I really like the way that Maki has the approach at the plate. He is a professional hitter, and he's a young guy. There's a fastball that just misses a little bit low. I wonder if they were playing in Osaka, if that call would have been a strike. But nope, that pitch was a little bit down. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Maki. The right-handed hitting Second baseman stands in against the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that he blows right by him, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. These are the moments that sometimes will define people's careers. If it's going to be somebody who is going to step up and do something here to keep the game alive, or is it going to be the pitcher on the mound who's able to close it out? Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down. A good stop there by the catcher, Mano, who was able to keep that one in front, though there's no runner on. Mackey does have 2 strikes on him, and a swing and a miss here could put him on base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander Yuasa shakes off his catcher, and now he gets the sign that he likes. He works set at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's nervousness in the crowd in Yokohama as their BayStars are down to their final bats here. Mackey waiting on the offering here from Yuasa. The other part to this is the sun is starting to go down a little bit. It's going to be a tougher part now for the hitters to be able to hit. We're not quite into dusk as that fastball is fouled away. Usually you get into the late afternoon. The sun hasn't really set yet, but it has gone down onto the horizon. The lights haven't taken full effect. The advantage right now, the needle is in the favor of the pitchers. Once the lights can take on their full effect, then that really helps out. But it is still right now probably in the favor of the pitchers at this point. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. Mackey is giving quite the battle here to the right-hander Yuasa. It's one of the pieces I say about the Japanese league. Some of the pitchers, it's really a fastball and a breaking ball league or a split finger pitch league. You don't see a lot of pitchers with change-ups or a ton of pitchers. There are some, but not as much as you see in North America. And the change-ups definitely are something that are of value, and they could use one right here to Mackey. You could throw it for a strike as he fouls that one away. This is going to be pitch number 9 coming up to the BayStars second baseman. He's giving a battle here to Yuasa. This is a professional at bat, and we're witnessing it right now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Mackey is waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Yuasa. Yuasa comes set at the belt as he gets his side from his catcher. And here comes the 2-2 offering. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded through the 6th hole into left field. The BayStars have life. Shugo Maki with a single here to lead it off in the 9th inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki. Well, Miyazaki tonight, he hit the home run back in the 2nd inning. He also walked and has flown out to center field. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him here. Would the BayStars consider having him bunt? I don't know about that. You need 1 run to tie, but I'm not taking the bat out of this guy's hand or Soto's hand. I want to see if they can put one in the seats. And in North America, we call it a walk-off home run. In Japan, they call it a sayonara home run. If they can walk it off in the 9th inning. So here comes Miyazaki. He's got that home run back in the 2nd inning already to his name. And they throw over to first base, does Yuasa. And diving back in time is the runner Mackey. I'd be shocked if Mackey was running here. Only 3 stolen bases on the year. Alexander says, I guess they'd throw more variety if the athleticism were on a par with the MLB. I don't know about the athleticism so much as maybe there's a fastball that misses upstairs and the count is 1-0. I mean, let's face it, the power arms that the Dominicans, the Venezuelans, Canadians, Americans, Cubans that can be rolled out there, and for that matter, the Japanese players, they play at that level. The Japanese arms, once you get through a certain amount, of course, only having the 3 import player rule, it handcuffs you a little bit. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes, and all of a sudden, Yuasa seems to have lost his command of his pitches. 2 balls and no strikes to Miyazaki, and now the catcher, Umeno, comes out to the mound, and he's got his hand on the back of the pitcher. They've got the full infield in, coming to give him some confidence. Young right-hander here is in a very difficult situation. This is where you got to find out if he can get it done or not. This is a fantastic finish in Yokohama. Miyazaki at the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. The runner at first is Maki. There is nobody out. The tying run is at first. The winning run is at the plate. Yuasa works in the set position. He throws over to first, and diving back in time again is the base runner Maki. Who's going to be the hero tonight? Will it be the offense? Will it be the pitcher? Or will it be somebody on defense? Neftali Sato is swinging the bat on deck. And here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Miyazaki. It was a good job there by the catcher, Ueno, to frame that pitch. He did a great job of getting underneath it. It was a knee-high fastball. It also painted the inside corner. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Miyazaki. The righty Yuasa delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And now we're all evened up at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Miyazaki waggles the bat, right-hander Yuasa gets his sign from his catcher. He checks the runner over at first. Again, they throw over to first, and again, diving back in time is Maki. I don't know, the couple of those throws over to first base, the first baseman, Haraguchi, has had to move off of the base a couple of times to make those catches. 1 ball thrown into the corner, and you've got Maki standing on third. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Miyazaki is retired on strikes for out number 1. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Neftali Sato. Well, Soto is definitely another one of those players who can put the ball in the seats. He had 17 homers this year. During the regular season, he had 266. 17 homers and 49 RBIs. Maybe not one of his finer seasons in the NPB. But yet a steady one for the BayStars. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded into a double play. He's also grounded to short and popped to second. He's going to want to try to stand to the double play here. The first pitch is a fastball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Soto. Waiting on deck is, and I called it earlier, it's Tyler Austin. So either one of these 2 hitters, either Soto here or Austin on deck, a chance to play the hero. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind is blowing from left to right, as it kind of did when we started the ball game. I don't know if it's blowing out as much as we saw in the middle innings of this game. But the left-handed hitters, or if you're going to right field, if you can get it up in the jet stream, the ball could go for a while. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Neftali Sato. What a fantastic finish we have in this one. And as I mentioned earlier, hopefully you guys can join us as we will be doing the Buffaloes and the Hawks midweek, middle of the morning in North America. 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern. And there's a fastball that Just misses inside. The count now runs to 3-1 on Soto. Oh boy, there is a lot of people biting their nails in that Tigers dugout right now. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Soto is now stepped out. He's going to reset himself. One would have to think he's going to anticipate. Want to unload on a pitch here. So here comes the 3-1 as Yuasa holds at the belt and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. Neftali Soto has drawn himself a walk. It's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone, and it's going to bring the big American hitter Tyler Austin to the plate with a chance to be the hero. This is definitely a big game situation as the infield is coming to again to talk to their players. It looks like Shugo Maki is going to be run for. Tonight's going to be over. Interesting here. They've got to get the tying run, but also interesting that they're going to take Maki out. We'll get you that in just a moment. As we take a look to see who they are bringing in. This is going to be the pinch runner it's like it's Kamisato was in to run, and Tyler Austin is stepping to the plate. I rather enjoyed Austin. He had some nice runs in his short big league appearances. So Austin ready to hit here. He digs in. And the first offering is a fastball swung on it, is lined up the middle for a base hit. It's into center field. Chikamoto fields it, and he fires it in, and it's going to hold everybody. The bases are going to be loaded. The runner at second had to freeze because it was a line drive. He had to wait to make sure that it got through. Good piece of base running. Tyler Austin on the first pitch he sees slams a single up the middle, and the bases are full of BayStars with 1 gone, and it's going to bring up the catcher, Yasutaka Tobashira. Oh boy, we've got some excitement here. A fantastic diving effort by the second baseman, Obata, just past his outstretched glove into center field. And Tyler Austin gets the round of applause, and now we have a conference of Tigers on the mound as the pitching coach is out to talk to his young right-hander. So Shugo Maki, who was removed from the game as for the pinch runner. Soto is the runner at second. Austin, the runner at first. Austin really doesn't mean much. It is the runner Soto at second and the pinch runner at third base who are the ones who mean the most. But it looks like we got another pinch hitter here, as it is going to be the end of the night for Tobashira. It is going to be Fujita. This is Kazuya Fujita, who is coming in to pinch hit. A long-time veteran of the NPB, the 40-year-old is getting the opportunity here. The former Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle. And there's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to second. He's out for 1. They throw to first. It's going to be a game-ending double play. It's going to go down as a 4-2-3 double play, and the Tigers have won the ball game. Just like that, they had the bases loaded, and they couldn't do it. They are shell-shocked. Unbelievable finish. What a great ending to the game. If you're a Tigers fan, what a disappointment if you're a BayStars fan. And that is going to do it here in the 9th inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits, there were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your final score is the Hanshin Tigers 3 and the Yokohama DeNa BayStars 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes to wrap this baby up. We appreciate you guys for being here. Can't believe it. What a fantastic finish if you're a neutral for this one. We'll be back in 30 right after this. Welcome back, everybody. As we said before, don't forget to bookmark us. We're going to be on in the middle of the week when we do the Hawks and the Buffaloes. It is going to be the Pacific League that we will be picking up. That'll be Wednesday, North American time at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. Now, for the recap of this one, well, the BayStars got things going early. It was a leadoff home run in the second inning by Toshiro Miyazaki, who opened the scoring to put the BayStars up 1-0. BayStars added to their lead with 1 out in the third inning. It was a walk to the leadoff hitter, Taiki Sakane. It was a single by Kuzumoto. And then an error by the right fielder allowed him to get to second base. And then with Kaito Sano at the plate, a wild pitch from Hamaguchi allowed Sakane to score. That put the BayStars up 2-0. In the fourth inning, in the top of the fourth inning, the Tigers got one back on a solo shot by Teruaki Sato. That cut into the lead to make it 2-1. Then the Tigers added 2 more in the sixth. A leadoff double by Hojo. He was replaced by a pinch runner, Kawagawa. And then a double by Chikamoto drove in Kawagawa. And then with Chikamoto at second base and 1 out, Haraguchi singled him home to increase the lead to 3-2. And that was where it stood, and that's the final score of the ball game tonight. Your final score was the Hanshin Tigers 3 and the Yokohama DeNa BayStars 2. What a great finish to this one. Once again, everybody, we do appreciate everybody for checking in and listening to us and for your support. We hope you guys can come on back again during the week, as we will be calling the Pacific League stuff on our channel, but it will be in the middle of the night. Once again, it's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. We appreciate you guys for listening and being here. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you again in a couple of days.